Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ironkeep Chronicles! It is our weekly game of Dungeons & Dragons. I am your dungeon master and host, Tom Lommel, and I have assembled an all-star cast of players tonight to go on a little field trip, a little murder journey, a little TPK to the Barrier Peaks tonight. Let's meet our contest. I don't feel like I'm
very game show.
hosting some sort of game show or maybe
contestant number 2. If I were ice cream.
Where does that go?
Yeah, wow.
Immediately.
I kind of want to know and I kind of don't want to know at the same time. Hey, let's meet our players. To my right, your left, out of your top left, your Brady Bunch. It's Gaurav Gulati, everyone.
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Gaurav. I'm playing Thorn of the Wood, who is a ranger, an all-around general good person. Let's move on.
Wow, do you want to talk about Dawn Razor or not?
Oh yeah, okay. So last
You don't have to.
last season, how do we talk about this?
Yeah,
last
it was
arc.
last season. We've officially ended at least a season.
Right. So last season, I got this awesome greatsword that was like a little curse. It made me hunger for the souls of other people, and I dealt with that for a while. No big deal.
Certainly didn't alienate your wife.
My party was very supportive and said, like, we'll help you through this tough
Constantly
period.
against it, every step of the way.
Also, I was that too.
And eventually, though, at the end of the season, we freed the goddess Soon from a predicament, and as a gift, she stabbed herself with it. And when it came out, it was a blade of light instead of a blade of darkness. So now it's sort of mixed. It's like a mixed great sort of a sunblade sort of deal, and has some neat
Perfect
properties.
paladin weapon, wouldn't you say?
It's gone. Okay, just forget about it.
Would have been such a good weapon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it probably would be a good paladin weapon. So when I die,
Yeah.
I'm sure he will take it from my dead body.
Well, we've tweaked it a little bit right now.
We did,
Like it's
yeah.
not. We were proposed that maybe it get changed from chaotic evil to lawful neutral. Now it's more chaotic good.
Chaotic good, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has some other properties that we'll probably get into when gameplay starts, I think.
Very good. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to social at the same time. While I'm socialing, why don't you meet the social stylings of Havana Mahoney?
Social styling.
Well, you were socialing as well,
styling.
so.
I was just looking at pics of like grapes.
Yeah,
I love grapes.
good
man.
grapes. Good grapes out there.
Like in
on
a
the
good
internet.
light, like
Yeah.
it's just round and
You ever paint
purple,
one?
red.
Oh man.
You ever paint a grape?
Yeah.
I painted so many grapes, man.
Bro.
Still lifes,
What's
my jam.
happening?
Hey guys, I'm Havana Mahoney. I'm playing a character tonight known as Avril Birdsong. She is a halfling rogue, always getting into trouble. I hope you recognize me. I'm not wearing my wig tonight.
Thanks for the 10 BSB care.
Thanks, BSB. But yeah. Recently, her big up right now is her special weapon, Wave, is now a return weapon. And I'm really having fun with this kind of like Xena vibe magical talking item. It's great. It's lovely. That's all.
Are you happy with Wave's voice? Because there's been some discussion of whether Wave's voice is still fun or not.
You changed? Didn't we?
We did not change it.
Yeah. What's
it was
wrong
the
with
same.
it?
I'm just asking if you're still okay with it.
I didn't like fucking Black Razor's voice.
All right. Okay, very good. Hey, speaking of people we don't like, Eric Reichert is here.
Hey
He doesn't
everybody.
need your help to shit on himself.
That's true.
That's his deal.
Wow, that was like
Just wait. You'll wait. You'll
It
that was
only
like an
feeds
insult
me.
inside, like an almost compliment, but like an insult. That was like a turducken of.
He's just constantly shitting on himself, and so I don't feel like any of us need to because he's got it. 'Cause
You can't
he's
make fun of me. I'll make fun of myself first. Hey
He's
guys.
That's
sufficient.
a
that.
defense mechanism. It's fine.
I'm playing Grayson Hale, Paladin of Torm, an all-around good human person.
Good. About that human thing.
Total human guy.
Maybe we will save that. All right, very good. I'm done socialing now, so I'm ready to just dispense with all this nonsense. But there's one critical piece of nonsense which we have to address, which is our special guest tonight. Making Caves is off on some personal business. We have brought in the illustrious, the elusive, the lovely Eliza Pearl. Welcome. Your first time playing D&D with me, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have seen Eliza on Tempting Fate here on Saving Throw Show. May have seen you on Geek and Sundry, on Show Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited to have you play. Do you want to, I suppose they can see it sort of on the. Can they? Did we make a slide for everyone to see what Eliza's character is like?
Yes, I saw it earlier. Dom's busy. He
All
looks
right.
real busy.
Okay, he's heads down in the. What are you talking
Just
to me?
confirm you have a slide for
yes.
Eliza.
Hello.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, then you know where she's probably going to come into the storyline.
You take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks, Tom?
No, I don't take you for a conjurer of cheap tricks.
Nerds.
You are the result of a cheap trick.
Wow.
Oh, it's
Whoa.
cold in here today.
Wow.
How can you warm it up?
Yeah.
Genuinely heartless.
I'm in awe of how
I get it.
deep that was.
Tonight he didn't have McDonald's for dinner like he always has, and McDonald's usually mellows him out, because it sits in you and like it depresses you. But no, he had like a reasonable dinner, so now he's a real ass.
Two cheeseburger meal, please. No onions. No onions. I gotta try and smell good for the game. It doesn't often work. Hey, everyone. If you'd like to improve my mood, there's one certain way that you can do that. Number one, you can just tweet about the show. Hey, that's an easy way to do it. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. If you have friends and neighbors, tell your neighbors who are friends or your friends who are neighbors. The second thing that you could do is if you do exclamation point tips. I always want to say apostrophe. I can't get over it. Or bang tips. You can see the list of donations that I have assembled for tonight's game. It's going to be a combination, hopefully some exploration, but also some expository information. You can help either promote information or disinformation amongst the party through your contributions in tonight's chat. So we already have some great donations from BSB Cares in for $10, Shimmickson's in for $25, thank you so much. Coming to us from the beautiful Bundesrepublik Deutschland, CMS Pirnikov has resubbed 8 times in a row. Shimmickson has resubbed 7 times in a row. You could sub up for us, that's cool. Use your Twitch Prime, your Amazon Prime sub, whatever you want to do, that would be great. One Unique Beast is in for $8.61. I'm gonna turn on my magical DM visor of information and stream communication you open around this time. Yes, let's do that. And see what we've got in the hopper here, shall we? So those are ways that you can influence the outcome of the game, or at least the events of the game. Dom, tier 1, tier 2, these things never mean anything to me. All right.
I called it, chat! I called it!
They never do. There's no call there. That's like, oh, guess what? The Lakers are going to make the playoffs. Yes,
That's
surprise.
your fault for writing 100 tiers.
Yeah, that's hey, you know what? At some point you just got to go one more. That's fine. But like if it's something other than that, then let me know. I know that the first one is the table gets inspiration. So let's unlock that right away. Where are little okay, all right. So the Dark Lord of the Sith is over here. Boom,
The
boom,
Lich
boom.
King, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm not a geek like you guys are. Sorry.
Ava's over there, but I can't
Can I-
possibly.
Yeah, so if
Which
you can
one
reach
should
the
I grab?
Funko Pops, where are they
one?
hiding
That
out?
one, the left one.
These two?
Yeah.
Just the left
Yep.
one, though.
Yeah, unless you want to be this would be your stand-in tonight. Unless you want to be somebody else. Why don't you
Anna's?
give me old Han
right there.
Solo? Why don't you give me old Han Solo?
Old Han Solo.
Oh, he's a boobler.
Well, he's a little bit gubbly. I'll let you pick. This is our water elemental druid mermaid character lady that Megan normally plays, and then if there's something else that you feel like you want to be, if you want to be the evil sparkly owl or whatever, what this is just a token that represents you have inspiration.
No,
Don't touch.
Yeah, I was covered in glitter.
Oh, yeah, don't glitter the table.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna pick.
All right,
That one
very
anyway.
good.
Old Han
We'll put
Solo.
Ava back here.
Spoiler alert, he's dead.
Awesome. So
no.
inspiration has been unlocked. Yeah. All right. And some other cool things are happening. So just to explain inspiration, Eliza is somewhat new to the Dungeons and Dragons, so we're gonna all play along together here, shall we?
I'm learning.
Yay!
I'm a tiny seedling.
You can
Give me D&D watering and sunshine.
Let's help her evolve.
Yeah.
Cast special beam.
This is my attempt at an Ash voice. I don't think it was very good.
Oh, geez, Pikachu.
It does sound like a little boy.
Sounds like you took up smoking,
Thank
though.
you. Thank you. A
little boy
oh my
smokes?
God.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Ash. Well, he is named Ash, right?
Yeah, that's true.
What do you smoke in Pokemon? Do like Bulbasaur leaves like get you high as fuck?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Correct.
I am wildly outside my realm of fandom right now, so I'm just like, yeah. His name is Ash.
Pokemon.
Ash, did you hear that?
Fucking Tom is on one.
He has to catch all the Pikachu.
Yeah, every single Pikachu, catch them all.
You gotta catch them all.
Wait until I have some caffeine.
Pokemon?
So you can spend your inspiration at any time, but before you roll, it gives you advantage on a d20 roll, and I think you can use it on just about anything, right?
Okay.
So you can. Don't worry, I'm OCD enough that I can drop a line of conversation and pick it right back up 17 minutes later. Ask my wife. It's one of the most annoying things I do.
She's like, what are you talking about? What now?
Yeah, put her email.
I'll go off on this like long tangent. She'll be like, and I'll be this moment of silence, and I go, anyway, so what happened was, she's like, why did we come back to this? James
31
says that 861 was just, it was just bothering him just a little bit.
Can I have an air horn? I would like one.
That's a terrible idea.
I got your air horn right
Nope.
there.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible
To sound it
idea.
whenever somebody makes a tip, or just to blare it at me whenever I'm getting out of hand.
Any critical hit.
I think mouth horns are way better.
Yeah, if you do that, I'll do the sound for you.
Oh, okay.
Burr, 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 burr.
It's like a very young air horn, like a brand new.
Wee baby air. It just has to open up. You know, it's gotta open up.
No, the air horn
Now
has,
it's warmed up.
it has to evolve. It has to evolve. I made a Pokemon
That's how you do this. Meow, meow.
It's a bulba horn.
Don't talk about
bad at
Pokemon.
this.
You don't know
You're so
anything.
bad at it.
You're not my real dad.
It's true. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z either, so do you have
Come on! What about Sailor Moon?
rage quit?
Oh yeah, tell us about Sailor Moon.
Yeah, what do you think Sailor Moon's
We see the
about?
Saiyans are racist
all-
alien creatures.
I will tell you the two things I know about Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, you
Sailor Moon!
Well, that's the whole thing. Number
show.
one, fan
Probably
service.
exists, though.
Fan service. I know what that is. And number two, there's
Yeah, what fan
Fan service exists in every show.
like,
Gumi.
yeah, exactly.
What?
I'm just saying, like Sailor Moon is sort of not. I don't want to say that the. We're really getting off on a tangent.
You know what? I
here,
see
guys.
those intense faces over there. You better be careful what you say
Yeah,
about
I'm
Sailor
just
Moon.
gonna like back away. I'm just gonna back away.
I go Super Saiyan because I'm so angry about
Do you need help digging
A
that
little.
hole? Because Grayson's really good at digging holes.
No, no. I had a period in my life where I hated
You
myself
had a period?
as much as.
Got him!
High
No
five,
wonder you're so
Mahoney.
angry, Jay. Oh my god.
The worst part is I can't fire back without being horrible and sexist, so I'm not going to.
I haven't had my period in 100 years.
I'm going to choose the high road in this conversation. That's out of character for me. So, at any time that you want to give yourself advantage on a d20 roll, you can spend your inspiration. It then goes away until
Wait,
maybe
I
it
won't
comes
have
back later.
the Funko anymore?
Yeah, this is just a little physical reminder
Okay,
that it's
so I
out
get
there
to use
so
it
that
once
You
then.
get to use it once.
Got it.
That's
If
the
You
whole
don't
point.
spend it during the game, you get to take the Funko home and keep it forever.
Done.
That's right. You can have that. It was $7. Who cares?
It's just a piece of the set. Who
So
cares?
Yeah. Look, the pieces of the set come and go all the time. So that's happening. Also, the table. Everyone at the table gets 2 bumps thanks to everyone's donations. So these are our lovely bump coins donated by to us by Campaign Coins. So I explained bumps to Eliza before the cameras started
Thank you.
rolling. So approximately 8:03. I also get bumps, which is pretty great for me. So that's happening. So resub rerolls are coming into play as well. Where is our giant dragon full of loot? Those are different coins. You know, I'm going to
It's
use
over
these
there.
coins. I'm going to use these coins.
It's right over there.
I'll use these.
I
ones.
can't reach it.
It's fine.
We got different coins.
We've got
good?
different coins right here. We're all good.
Those aren't the ones we've always.
I'm
So-
gonna get confused, honestly.
Addicted Decoy gives their resub reach roll to Garage.
Thank you, Addicted Decoy.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Simath Pirnikov gives their resub reroll to Havana Mahoney.
Thank you.
And Shimmickson gives his resub reroll to Ding 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 Joker, 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 and a triple! It's me. Thanks everyone. Hi, I just made a joke from
Nope.
1978.
You're wrong. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
A little show called The Joker's Wild, which aired and ended before you were born. All right.
Oh boy.
So,
All right.
I have
start.
a portrait in my garage, which just keeps getting older and older. DJ Regular's in for $5. All right.
DJ.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you so much. So who would like to give a somewhat brief and salient recap of where we left off last week in last week's events?
Eric?
James V is correcting that hanging 61 cents. Thank you so much,
Nice.
James V
So-
and DJ Regular.
We found ourselves under kind of offered. There's a big old bad man named Xanathar.
He's
who's-
a big old bad boy.
Technically not a man.
Not a
He's,
man.
you're right. He's a beholder. He's a crime lord, and
Yes.
he was like, "Hey, you know that magic potion that's gonna save Thon's father's life? Well, you gotta do something for me first if you want it. So he's gonna send us to a place to get God's fire, so that he can be reborn and live forever.
Yeah. The gist of it. And we said
All
we'd
right.
think about it.
You said you'd think about
And
it, yeah.
so we did.
Yeah, give us a night to sleep on it.
He said, go think about it. Yeah. All right. Very good. So, where would you like to pick up?
We all said no. And then,
Yeah, we're going somewhere else.
Well, so you were dismissed, and you were given some time to either go back to Ailerod's Tower, which is now your domicile, your residence in Waterdeep. You can do anything that you would like to do, or you can debate amongst yourselves over what you think of this whole offer. I will say, since Megan is out this week, that Ava, kind of out of nowhere, pulls out a little, looks like a oyster or a clamshell, but it's golden, it's gleaming gold, and she kind of holds it up to her ear and she says, "What? Oh!" And then you see her transform. You've seen her shape shift before because she's a druid, right? You've seen her do this, but she shape shifts and she takes on the form of a tiny little baby sea otter.
Aw.
And she just has the clam like held up to her face, and she's kind of like nuzzling it, and it looks like she's maybe like kind of like squeaking and talking to it, and
A real otter would kill that clam with a rock.
she seems to be playing with it.
She's wrong.
she would lay on her back and then crush it with a rock.
It would be cute, but also disturbing.
Okay, sure. So then she kind of like scrambles around the street a little bit, and she finds a rock and she smashes it open, and there's this big spurt of like clam juice that kind of like dribbles down the side of the thing.
I
And
make
she-
a Bloody Mary.
She begins nibbling on the clam, and she just sort of like blisses out, and she kind of curls up and falls asleep.
In the street?
Yeah.
Scoop her up.
Well, we can't have that. Wake
Well,
up.
I make her a special papoose.
Oh, what?
An otter papoose.
Yeah.
An otter pup papoose.
What's that like?
Papoose. It's just like
Do
a
you s-
little sling.
Do you sling her? Is it a front sling or a back sling?
Probably back sling is safer for her, right? I don't know. No, front sling, so I can hold her.
Yeah, and
My
and
little murder baby.
so you pick her up, and she's kind of, and, but her eyes are still closed, and she kind of like wriggles a little bit, but then you kind of like snuggle her in, and you like tuck her over, and you like,
Oh my God. So good.
I weep.
I don't know what else to do. It's so cute.
I feel like if Thon walked outside and saw her holding a baby-shaped object, it's like, no,
the two of you have joked about how you're Ava's parents, and it kind of feels like you're having one of those moments where you're like, you kind of have to like take care of her.
I place a hand on Thon's shoulder and I go, "Makes you think, doesn't it?"
All right. So I'm going to assume you go back to the tower and kind of, complete whatever you complete. Do you want to discuss the offer that's on hand, or do you want to? Night Steve.
Thanks,
Thank
Night
you.
Thanks for the 10.
Excuse me.
So, I mean, clearly I want this, but it's kind of up to Avril here because she has the map in her head.
You want what?
Well, I want to go.
Oh, and do a thing. Okay, and I'm fine with that, but we need to be getting something out of it because I don't do something because I'm being threatened to do it. I just don't.
Right. Yeah, so to clarify from last session for people who are just catching up, is that Xanathar the Crime Lord kind of has some sway over Thawne because he's apparently captured this potion that you guys commissioned to raise your father from the dead, or cure his undead curse that he's got. And he wants you to go and apparently capture something called the God's Fire, which might be a fountain of youth, or he claims that it might give him kind of youth or eternal life without having to become a lich or some sort of weird, bizarre creature.
Right.
And you guys were like, well, what's in it for us? And apparently part of the key to this whole thing is that you had gone on a heist and stolen a map, and that map emblazoned itself on your brain, and you gave Xanathar a broken copy of the map, and he has found out about that.
I would say 99% complete.
Yes, but deliberately not complete. Deliberately incomplete.
Accident.
Yeah, that's fine.
I accidentally.
Copied it really
Wrong.
really,
It's fine.
really good poorly.
Yes.
I did a really good job of copying it poorly.
I almost did a perfect job, which is more than most people can say about tasks they do. So.
Yes. So,
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to piss off James. That's so brilliant.
It'll never work.
very
Never
good.
work.
Ooh,
And with those donations, the table gets 2 more bucks.
Baby.
Very good.
Amazing.
So he said.
Thank you.
He said, "You tell me what you want in order to do this. You know, I understand if you feel unduly coerced.
I mean, a little bit.
You know,
I feel bad to have to drag you along on this, but I do want this potion.
I do not feel bad. Sorry.
Oh.
I feel bad about not feeling bad, I guess.
No, you don't. But that's okay.
I did apologize, though.
Yeah.
As if I did.
Yeah.
Which is a step towards the right direction,
Yeah.
right?
I appreciate your.
Fake it till you make it.
I appreciate your attempt to make me feel better.
Okay, yes.
Regardless, you would. I mean, you could maybe see the birthplace of Torm. You don't know. It could be amazing.
I mean, Torm was a mortal man who ascended into godhood.
And maybe he was a baby in the Barrier Peaks.
This seems like a weird way to get him.
I
to
mean,
do
most
something.
scholars believe he's probably from the Borderless Kingdom, is where he was probably born, but it's
Alright,
lost in
anyway.
time.
A lot more than I
Anyway.
thought about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why
boy.
he brought that up. If we go,
I
he's
get it.
gonna go.
Yeah.
somebody
Because he wants to
researched
protect us.
there.
We don't need to convince him of shit.
Well, he wants to protect you, I'm pretty sure. If I just went, he'd be like, oh, I'm good.
You're my friend. I want to protect you as well.
So you would go with just me.
Right, I'll stay
And-
here with my daughter. My other daughter.
We should get a box to keep that thing safe in.
A box?
Well, like a crib or something.
You would
I don't
put
know.
your child into a box?
a protective otter box. I don't know. Something to keep it safe.
No, she's gonna stay right here in my little papoose. She's just gonna sleep.
It's making some strange noises. I've never heard an otter, but I mean,
She's like a little pup. They make little barking noises. You've never seen an otter before?
is she trying to say something?
She's dreaming.
Well, we have to bring her along.
I know, that's why I made the papoose.
So everybody give me a perception check, please.
Natural 1.
Wow. You gonna
14.
roll one?
You're not in the room.
Oh, cursed. I get
Natty
to reroll
one.
ones.
Oh, you do. Get it in.
Sucker. 11.
That's technically 2 ones.
Okay, well. Perception, you
Yes,
said?
perception.
Well, -1. Oh, wait, no, I have a.
No,
the
decent-
plus one.
decent perception.
12.
12.
14.
14. All right.
My wisdom is a total shit.
The two of you notice, you know, you're kind of sitting around the dining hall of the tower, having this.
The two of who?
The two of you, you're all sitting
yeah,
around. You're all sitting in the dining hall of the tower. You're kind of discussing this, like, well, what do you think we should do? This feels like a crappy deal. I don't know. Like, well, what would we even ask for if we were to make this worthwhile? Da da da. But the two of you, as you're discussing this, you're both talking. You're kind of arguing with Thawne a little bit over, like, I don't know. This just seems like a raw deal. But as you look up over Thawne's shoulder. And you swear to God that the portrait of Ailerod that's hanging over the fireplace, like, just tilts crooked just like a little bit.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
What? What did you see?
The portrait moved.
Are you sure?
Yeah, a little bit.
We should get rid of that anyway. It's ugly.
I mean, Ailerod might
When
be...
you say that, you see it like tilt even more crooked.
I feel like Ailerod
Probably broken.
I feel like
It
Ailerod...
falls off of the wall. kind of hits
All right,
the floor.
problem solved. Okay.
I don't know if Ailerod would like us redecorating.
Well, it's our house. Ailerod can suck 2 sticks.
The portrait begins to spin on the floor, kind of just like around.
Quit causing a scene. Cut it out.
If you have something to say, Ailerod, just come out and say it.
It's not you who I think is ugly. It's just like kind of dated style, and the frame is like really gaudy. You know, it's not like a you thing. It's like a, you know, we got to keep it modern up in here.
Maybe, like, put it into storage, and then, like, if he feels like... Because eventually we won't live here. Eventually we'll die, and he'll stay, and, you know... And then he can put it back.
All right, there you go. That's a compromise, right? Ailerod?
If there's a way for a framed piece of artwork to look sullen, it does so.
All right, whatever, dude. We'll put you back up. I'll go over and put the painting back up.
Okay. As you do that, you sort of like lock eyes with the portrait of Ailerod, and
I fall deeply in love.
his big, puffing his big old pipe, and just for a moment, like everything around you sort of freezes, right? And then you like, you feel him standing over your shoulder. Oh, I was wondering how long it would take you to take a hint.
What? Okay, what? You wanted to talk?
Yes, I wanted to talk, but of course, as I have explained before, I don't actually physically inhabit the tower. I inhabit an entirely different time and space.
Am I in the painting? What is happening?
Well, of a sorts, yes. When you concentrate hard enough on my presence or personality, then we have a connection that transcends dimensional time, space, chronology. You enter the... just as I can visit you in the dream realm, you, by concentrating on me, can come visit me in my realm here.
All right. So getting rid of the portrait is a no, then?
Well, it is the easiest way to concentrate on me, I suppose. If you did get rid of the portrait, there might be other things that would remind you of me. But it would be a bit insulting.
Okay, what if I just get like a new frame for it, or...
Oh, yes, I have abysmal fashion sense. It's very evident, yes?
All right, I'll paint like a nice blue tuxedo on you or something.
I have to change the picture itself if you wanted to change the frame. I like my wizard's robes.
Gotcha. Well, what do you need, Ailerod?
Actually, I don't need anything. I have a message for you.
Well, all right.
Someone would like to speak to you.
Okay. Who might that be?
And as you then turn, you're talking to, you feel like you're talking to Ailerod, and then from behind you, over your shoulder, you hear a voice that says, "Well, we have a very important message for you." And you turn around and you see Talia Vandermeer.
Okay.
Right? And she's standing there. She's got her Harper pin on her cloak. She's kind of dressed in her full regalia. But she's a little bit like fuzzy and blurry.
Hi, Talia.
I apologize for this unorthodox approach, but it was the only way that we could find a secure means of communication to reach you, Avril, and speak with your associates without being seen or detected.
Well, that's all right. I've certainly been in much stranger communique before, so.
Number one, we appreciate everything that you have done for the Harper organization, but we also understand that you have had some contacts with some unsavory characters of late.
Really sure that's any of your business.
Well, the Lords of Waterdeep tend to look at the health and well-being of the city and of the realms themselves as part of their business. We want to tell you that we encourage you to pursue this course of action which is being proposed.
Okay, do you understand how this kind of seems like kind of mixed messages, kind of conflicting? Hey, stop talking to the evil people, but while you're at it, do whatever they say.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily say stop talking to the evil people. I just said that we were aware that you were talking
But then
to
you
the
were like,
evil people.
Like your way you said it, your inflection was kind of judgy.
Well, I didn't mean to be judgy, but you don't have to be so defensive.
It's my thing.
I'm sorry.
It's what I do, goddammit.
Well, before you get too defensive about this, we propose that you follow through with this plan of action, although maybe not all the way to its fruition.
You want us to die?
I don't. No, of course not. I love you like a sister. I really have been charmed by the ingenuity and the courage and the bravery that you and all of your compatriots have shown. No, I don't want you to die at all.
Then what are you implying?
I'm implying that we have tried long and hard to put a mole inside of a certain person's organization. And we have thus far been unsuccessful. But you present an opportunity.
Well, if we are to be frank, if we're talking about Xanathar, he is already.
I did not say anyone's name.
I thought you said this is a safe place.
Well,
Inside this weird painting.
yes.
Okay, so Xanathar, bad boy.
You may say his name as frequently as you wish. I am not entirely within the same realm that you are right now.
Okay, then
I'm
let me
projecting
say,
myself there.
Well, good for you.
It's kind of a neat trick.
I'm impressed,
okay.
but jealous.
Well, I'm jealous of that little fur baby that you got there and that papoose.
It's a papoose because she's an otter.
Papoose, that's
otter
adorable.
Pup.
Yeah.
But I'll say it. Xanathar did not necessarily trust us. I'm not sure how successfully we could be moles because we're already on thin ice with him. He already knows that, we fucked with his plans and doesn't really trust us to do anything unless there's a threat overhead or, something he's holding from us.
Well, he trusts you more than anyone else who's not inside his organization.
I'm just not sure that's saying much.
Fair enough. I can only tell you that if you go ahead with this, but perhaps at a critical moment decide to turn on him, you would have our full support.
Are you speaking of a specific thing in mind? Or is this like when the moment feels right kind of shit?
He's in search of something. If you find that thing, perhaps before you deliver it to him, you might not deliver it to him.
And what? Deliver it to you?
The Lords would keep safe whatever you might find.
Listen, I appreciate you and your work, but that does not mean we're in alignment with the entirety of the Lords of Waterdeep. I don't trust them as much as I don't trust Xanathar with such information.
Fair enough. I thought perhaps we could come to an agreement, but
I'm fine if you want to keep it out of Xanthar's hands, but that doesn't mean that the other side of the coin is sharing it with the Lords of Waterdeep.
who would you suggest sharing it with?
Maybe destroying it?
That's possible.
I don't know. We really have to see if we can find it and what it really is. If it is this eternal life thing, you can't just hand that over to anybody. Who can handle that power?
There's wisdom in what you say. We ask you to keep us informed. That's all we ask. You don't have to report to us, but we want you to go forward with our blessing with the understanding that we're here to support you when you need us.
Well, how am I supposed to get in contact with you? Because I'm not bringing this giant, ugly painting with us. No offense.
We'll find a way to contact you.
Well, that doesn't really seem fair, does it? Communication is a two-way street.
The only thing I can offer you is this. Keep it. Keep it secret and keep it safe. And she takes the pin off of her cloak and she puts it in the palm of your hand.
How'd you do that? When I get out of the painting, it's going to be here?
And with that, the crying of the little Ava seal snaps you back into the room. And the vision and the painting and Ailerod and Talia all disappear.
The painting looks nice and straight.
Oh, jeez. You guys didn't see me go in there?
See, go
You guys
in
didn't
where?
see me blue skidoo into that painting?
No, you picked
Blue
up.
skidoo, we can't too?
No,
Are you all right?
you picked
It's
up
like
the.
a children's book I used to read.
Oh,
You picked up the painting and you put it straight.
yeah.
All right, well, I got transported into the painting, hanging out with old Ailerod, and Talia was in there.
Talia?
Yeah, she transported herself to Ailerod's realm somehow. And she told us that we have the Harper's blessings, and I believe oh shit, Waterdeep, the Lords of Waterdeep as well. Yeah. They know about our potential mission, and they said they support us and they encourage us to, at the last minute, perhaps.
We probably shouldn't.
You know what I'm gonna say. I don't need to say
No,
it.
I know, but I think Xanathar might be watching at all times. So let's just, if he, I don't know. He knew where we lived, so
I'm
he
just,
might just.
all right. You want me to write it down? What do you want me to do?
No, we know as much as we need
get
to
it.
know. We're all right.
My point is like, we don't need your permission, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for your blessing.
Right.
Stupid.
But if they could help, that I guess we'll see.
They
what
did
happens.
not offer help.
Oh, all
That
right.
is not the situation.
So we're on our own.
They said, good luck, have fun, do what we would do.
They really said good luck, have fun.
No!
Oh, I mean, I just thought it'd be odd if they did.
I'm speaking of them mockingly because I have, maybe not the utmost respect for what they're trying to communicate.
What do you have against the Harpers?
I said about what they're trying to communicate.
Oh,
They want to fix the world, but from the shadows without taking a stand. I don't. If one's going to do something, they should step into the light.
Also, I just don't know if I 100% trust the Lords of Waterdeep.
well, I mean, how much can you trust a man that, or several that walk around with masks
Or
on?
women.
I'm sorry, yes, men and women.
Some of them might be creatures.
Some of them might not be men
Probably
or women. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just saying a being that walks around with a mask on, except for the one that we know that doesn't have a mask.
Look where that got her.
Well, that's big. Yeah, look where that got her. Dead and then alive.
You're welcome.
I don't think you brought her back to life.
Hey, I saved the person who did, so kind of like, yeah, I did.
I'm sure she is very grateful.
Yeah, she sent me a letter. It's real nice.
She really sent you a letter?
I mean, she gave us this tower.
Yeah, and she left a little note. It said Avril on it.
Well, that's nice.
She said, "Thank you for using that cube of force to smash me into oblivion."
Oh, she's being sarcastic.
No.
There's no
What? No. I saved the day. Just like in a scary way.
In a scary way. Save the
my
day
thing.
in a scary way. We should write a song about that.
No.
I'm not a bard. I don't know songs.
We should get a bard.
Get one? Like go buy one?
No.
We could hire one, to tell
Yeah.
our tales. I mean, we've done a lot of adventuring.
We should do that. We should hire a bard to
This
write
seems
some songs.
really masturbatory, honestly.
Everybody wants to
All
live
right.
forever.
So a couple things have been unlocked thanks to chat here.
Who's playing Bejeweled over there?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I crushed another candy.
He's never played Bejeweled.
No, it doesn't.
Thinks it involves candy.
What? Is that not how it works? Yeah. You
Learn
just
some pop
you line
culture,
up
Tom.
3 of the same, and then the
It's when
rogue
6
It's the same thing.
Charmanders.
It's the same thing.
is called a Charizard.
Wow.
Charizard. Yeah, I've never heard that in my life.
Everyone gets 2 more bumps.
Yeah.
Thanks to chat. So
Thanks, Chad.
we're doing well
Bump
there.
City.
Yeah.
Bump
Good.
City.
Nice.
Forget it, Jack.
Thank
It's
you.
Bump City.
I'm so glad you don't have to throw them at us anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
That was
Me
the
too.
scariest part of
That
every
sounds-
game.
'Cause I
I
can never
enjoyed
reach.
that part of it actually. Yeah.
So I was like,
I wish you ever cursed and had to wear that all the time.
Seems
like
kind of
Goosebumps
cruel.
book?
So thank you, Blind Seer, for your $5 donation.
Thanks, Blind.
That
Hi.
also means that I Know a God has been unlocked. So for your clarification, anyone at the table can invoke a deity that they know of, and that deity will manifest an avatar who will then answer truthfully to the best of their ability 3 yes or no questions.
and don't do it just to summon a twin of yourself to have a conversation, because that's already happened.
How did that happen? That's exactly what I was going to do with it.
Oh, I forgot. That was really funny.
Yeah, Ava,
She
Ava
she
did that.
she brought down an avatar of Boshala, which she is also an avatar of Boshala, and so it was just her exact copy. And they just said, "How are you doing? I'm good."
Hey!
Really cute, though. Really cute.
Those aren't yes or no questions.
How are you doing? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am doing. Oh my god.
Actually, she did burn like 2 of them right off the bat, asking you like, "Are you great? Are you?
Isn't this fun?
Isn't this fun? Yes."
Oh my god.
You miss you, Megan?
All right. So, is there? Have you reached kind of a consensus on what you want to do? Do you?
I think what we got to do is I'm not going to be threatened into this, so I'm going to get something out of it. I think we all need to ask.
Yeah.
This guy has access. He has access to magical items that you know, as soon as we're done with this, are going to help us, you know, through whatever else comes after that.
Yes.
We can do a lot of good.
Agreed.
Do you guys know what you want?
I think so.
What you want to ask creepy Xanathar Santa for?
I'm just gonna get the potion. That's for me.
No, he's holding that over your head.
I know, but I don't want the push. I don't need anything else. I'm all right.
Well, then I want 2 things.
I'm all right with that.
You got what you want?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do this, and then you know, see where it goes.
All right.
Maybe like
Wank.
He gave us
Wank.
he gave us 24 hours, so maybe like take like a long rest to heal, because I was still, you know, not too long ago attacked by a giant spider that bit the hell out of me.
Wah, 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 giant spider. All right, I could sleep.
I thought we did sleep. This was the next day.
Oh, is it the next day?
I thought it was.
This was the same day.
Same day. Okay. So we'll sleep on it, and then.
Yeah, you were given 24 hours.
Did he say how to contact him, or is that guy gonna show up again?
Yeah, probably.
Baudry? Is that his name?
Baudry.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll sleep and wake up the next day, and we'll wait.
Okay. All right. So,
Who is it?
hey, open the door.
It's open.
Is it? It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
We all fell asleep really fast.
Not a good part of time.
I
We
wouldn't
shouldn't
have-
have left
It's
it
not
open.
open.
Yeah, I locked it. I locked it last night. I got up. I got up.
unlocked
So
it after I saw you lock it.
I know, and I stayed up even later because I knew you were gonna do that.
I'm just looking. All right.
All right, I go
Don't
down.
Still not
Stop.
open.
Don't
You're gonna
strain
poop your
yourself.
pants.
We're coming.
You're coming.
I unlocked it.
Did you just poop on our door?
That's fine. Everything's fine.
It's just a little pant slug in there.
So if we open this door, there's not going to be poop on our doorstep.
He's
No.
wearing pants. Got his boots tucked.
You think
got
he
his
just-
pants tucked into his boots.
You think he just
Anything
pooped in
it's
his pants
shoe.
instead?
Well, I hope he didn't pull trowel.
Well, you know when you're lifting something heavy.
I need to use your restroom.
Oh!
I open the door and I'm like, hey, buddy. Like, I mean, apropos of nothing, but Winston is pretty good at laundry. If you ever.
He looks you dead in the eyes. He's like, I never shit myself.
Okay.
Never have I ever shit myself.
Cool. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't saying you were. I was just saying Winston's pretty quick with
I
laundry.
just gotta use a lube.
Okay, yeah.
Winston, will you wash this guy's shit pants?
Oh yeah. I'll wash his shit pants.
All right.
A little too excited
We
about
wash
that.
Thon's too.
Winston's excited about everything. Did Thor shit his pants
He
too?
wakes up every morning with a fresh turd in his trousers. It's ridiculous.
I've noticed the sheets have been a little bit streaky.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I noticed the sheets have been a little bit streaky.
The sheets have been streaky.
Yeah, the sheets have been streaky.
Yeah, we, stretch them out.
No, he means there's shit all over him. What do you mean we stretched him out? He means he's got brown smears on it.
I also have to go to the loo now. So
To cry.
I'm just gonna go.
I promise it's not like this every week.
We're just trying to impress you.
Keep the poop coming.
He told
what
us all, he's like,
impresses
guys, we got a special guest. We really got to bring our A game.
Raise the bar.
Yeah, we usually the RP is not as good as it is tonight.
I usually don't shit my pants.
All right, so
Thank you, Winston.
Beaudry's one of those guys who manages to pee as loudly as possible in the bathroom.
How tall? What is
He's
he?
like
an orc?
6.5 feet tall.
He's a
Yeah,
half
he's
orc,
not an
right?
orc. Yeah,
He's a half orc?
maybe half orc. He's very pale though,
Yeah.
right? He's got nails driven into his cheeks and.
Is he like albino pale?
Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. But he doesn't have white hair. He has like black orcish hair, right? It's big, bushy black.
He's
but
way cuter than
pale
that.
skin. Yeah. Anyway, he comes out and he's like, "All right, let's go."
Cool.
Would you mind putting your pants on first?
He looks down. He's like, "Oh, you got me, didn't you?"
I sure got ya.
Normally, I don't fall for that sort of business.
What?
I said, normally, I don't fall for that sort of business.
Normally, he doesn't fall for that sort of business.
I thought you were saying normally if it been
Oh, yeah. You don't speak much Orcish, do you?
Guess not.
That's not Orcus, that's just bumpkin or something. I'm not sure what's happening.
All right. Enough of the insults. First, you accuse me of shooting myself.
It sounded like. Look, let's not talk about this anymore.
All right.
Lead the way.
Teleportation circle.
I still have Ava.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Sure. It sounds. Yeah, she's sort of like. At first, when you guys go to sleep, right, you lay down and she kind of like she fusses and fidgets a little bit, and then within 20 minutes, she just snuggles right into you and just purrs into your neck basically the whole night.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I have a bottle. I'm feeding her.
That's awesome. All right, so you show up once again in Xanathar's reception room, I guess is maybe what it is.
His reception.
And this time it's a little bit different. So the reception room is this big kind of circular area that's dominated by this spiral staircase that comes down the middle, right? And it gives this sort of 360-degree veranda kind of feel. So it's almost like being on a rooftop, except that instead of being on the roof, you come down from someplace high above, underground, and you walk down the spiral staircase, and you kind of descend out of the ceiling into this veranda, and there's this beautiful view of Waterdeep, like a 360-degree view, as if you were standing on top of a tower somewhere, overlooking Waterdeep Harbor and whatnot, and the whole rest of the city is splayed out in front of you. But when you look really closely, you can tell that like the people who are moving on the streets and the ships in the harbor they're swaying, the waves that are coming in are all generated. They're all little mechanical kind of like gizmos and gadgets, right? So they're all little dolls of people that are designed to walk around, and the sun is actually just a light that's shining from someplace. So really, it's incredibly detailed and very sophisticated and impressive. I think it's impressive. Whether you do or not, well, that's up to you. So the way that this is different is Xanathar is standing there, and there is a half-elven woman who. What are you dressed in? What does your character wear?
I'm dressed in a brown leather cape jacket. It's like a duster. It has red velvet cuffs. Have a lot of rings. And have a gold tooth. It's very sexy. I'm wearing a hat with a brim. And has a silk red scarf flowing from it.
Slung from a holster at her waist is a hand crossbow on one side. On the other side, you can see that there's a short sword that looks very well worn, nestled in a sheath. Those are the main things that you observe about this person, who's just sort of standing against, leaning against a pillar over on one side, kind of casually observing as Xanathar, this giant. You familiar with what a beholder is?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and of course, Xanathar doesn't necessarily look 100% like a normal beholder, right? But Xanathar is standing there, kind of muttering something to this person, and then he says, "One moment, I will be right back with you." Huh?
Use the bug as a baby.
This pug? I don't have a papoose though.
Careful.
Oh.
The pupper.
Just tie this together.
There it is.
What's this? Can you use this?
This is my tank top from my merch store.
Oh.
Shapeless plug.
Doubles as a papoose.
Vada Rabon, designed by humans.
Yes. So.
Is that look good? Look good, Dom? Oh, you can't see him.
Yeah, it's hard to see your name tags covering you. That's good, yeah. Speaking out.
Just get a little paw going.
She's speaking out.
She peeking.
A little paws. This is how I do. This is how I created the papoose too. I just tied my Thieves Guild
Cloak, your shadow cloak. Ugh, the worst.
together to create a papoose.
All right. Very good. So Xanathar says, well, you're back. It's so nice to see you again. Have you done some deliberation?
We have.
And what conclusion have you reached?
We'll do it.
On terms.
Yes, the terms. I assumed there would be terms. Tell me, what are your terms?
What's the catch? Sorry.
No, please, by all means, continue something preferably non-copyrighted. I really do enjoy the musical arts.
I did under, what is it, 15 seconds?
It's like 3 seconds, I think.
Whoa, perfect timing.
Our terms are,
Yeah.
one, don't kill us.
If I kill you, then how can you fulfill the mission?
Afterwards. He means like ever.
I will be
Ever?
greatly indebted to you after this. I promise I shall not harm you in any way if you abide by our agreement.
All right. Two, I want that potion now.
Normally, I would not agree to payment up front, but I would consider this to be a deposit, sign of good intent. Therefore, yes, I would supply you with the potion now. The rest of your conditions, of course, would be upon delivery.
Well, that makes it tougher. I mean, maybe one more condition before delivery, and it could help us all, is that you would give us some magical items to help us on our journey. Our survival can only help you to survive even longer. So,
Are you saying that sword at your hip is not adequate equipment?
oh, it's not for me. My companions just wish I got the potion. I'm happy with that. But Ava and Avril and Grayson,
Oh, I don't know what Ava wants. What do you want?
Excuse us, this
That's
is...
disgusting.
Look at you!
What are you doing with that odd mammalian fetus?
What?
This is Ava.
I step forward and I say, "What's that, a rat?
Oh,
You got a
No,
rat there.
it's not a rat. I'm sorry, who are you?
You got a rat, baby.
no, she's a little otter pup.
This
What's
is our...
an otter pup?
It's like a sea rat.
It's a rat.
No, I would say it's more of a river rat.
like a sea puppy?
So, yeah, river puppy.
Yeah.
So young and feeble and useless.
you birth
Disgusting
that?
creatures. I don't
No.
understand your mortal fascination with these weird babies.
It's an avatar of a goddess. I would not be talking like that if I were you.
She may be little, but she can still eat your throat. You don't have a throat. One of your eyes.
Technically, I have a very short throat and digestive tract.
That's it. I'm here.
Dude, he farts out his neck.
Well, it's been fun playing D&D, guys. Dom's ending the entirety of the channel.
Tom did this for 2 years just so he can make one big fart joke. And that's it.
Dom's leaving.
Tom's
He's
got a
out.
samurai sword and
Probably
he
gonna
stabbed
go fart in
himself.
the hall.
He has stabbed himself with a samurai
He
sword.
didn't even ask for a second to cut his head off. That's how dedicated he is.
Oh. Would you grow up, Xanathar? Come on.
Pervert.
We're talking business here. I'm sorry. Is he your employer as well?
This is Tom's fuck mortgage. Just first.
It was the quietest little fart. Did Chad even hear it?
He started laughing so soon.
Goodbye to each other.
See you later.
Bye,
Love
everybody.
you guys.
So fun together.
But speaking of T-shirts, Fuckawa Get Kesses is now available, right?
That is yeah.
It's a
that's
T-shirt
at
now
TeePublic.
available on the Saving Throw Show store.
Inside joke.
This is someone who would provide transportation and support were you to agree to our mission.
I don't like rats on my ship.
Wait, transportation ship?
She is not a rat.
Sea rat, river rat, whatever rat.
She's an otter pup, and she's also the avatar of a goddess. So you would be honored to have her on your ship. She'll bless the shit out of it. She's a water goddess.
Yeah, if we're talking a sea voyage, having the avatar of a water goddess seems like it would be.
It's not a sea voyage, mate.
Okay.
Well, a ship's a ship.
Wait, if we're not going by sea, I assume we're going by teleportation. What? How are we getting?
Yes, that. Well, all of that will become clear in due time, assuming. What are the rest of your terms? Let us negotiate and come to a complete understanding of what you want and what I want.
I believe that was it. Oh, and
Which magic items in specific are you looking for?
I want your copy of Tome of Clear Thought.
You assume correctly that I have a tome of clear thought. All right. What about you?
Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but my armor's getting not quite as protective as I would like it to be, so maybe just some plate armor.
Plate armor. Well, that's easily done. Plate armor. Yes, I would agree to that.
oh, and Ava wanted a very nice spear of the magical sort.
A +1 spear.
Come on, we can do better than that.
Can we?
Zanny, come on. Let's go to 2 at least.
I will look in my armory and see what I have available.
It should look cool too.
It should be a little cool.
It should look cool too.
Look cool. Yes. Well, I only keep the finest masterwork items in my armory. Yes, of course it will look cool. It will look, as the Charizard says, badass.
Oh my god. I can't do this anymore. Okay. And one last thing, I would like Gingy to be given to us.
I gave him to you. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
were we supposed to take him? I didn't. Did someone grab?
Did you leave him?
Yeah.
You begged for his life and then you forgot him
They gave
here?
us a man in a bag. I
Yeah,
didn't know we were supposed to take him.
No, I took him
Yes.
and I gave him to Winston, and I said,
You did?
"Yeah, well,
Oh. Well, that's news to me.
You were drunk.
I was not
You were
drunk.
drunk.
I was not drunk.
I told you not to drink Xanathar's wine. It's the potency for a giant eyeball monster, not a little ding-dong human.
Yes, it is delicious. It does lead to flatulence.
Don't fart out your damn neck again, I
Don't you-
swear.
Don't.
Don't.
We will walk out. We will walk out.
He's been farting out his neck all day.
Oh, I'm
We
so
have
sorry.
noses.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, well,
What timing? Jeez.
Armor I shall provide immediately. The flask I have agreed to give you now. The tome shall be forthcoming upon a delivery of the god's fire to me. Yes. Some sort of magical spear I will find. In the meantime, that can all be negotiated. Yes, we agree.
Agreed.
Maybe also you should let Badri go with us. So
Badri.
we have some leverage on you.
I cannot allow Baudry to go with you. That would completely tip the little operation here, would it not?
I don't really want to babysit an orc that poops his pants either.
I just think we should
I don't
have
feel-
leverage.
I don't feel safe. Like, when we are, inevitably taking watch shifts, and it's like, okay, we'll all sleep, and this murderous immortal thug, you can take watch.
I thought he was kind of nice, all things considered.
No, he's very nice, but also we can't really.
Oh, be assured that Baudry would not kill you unless I specifically instructed him to.
But you might. That's not above your
See, that's
position.
a loophole. Then we said you couldn't kill us, but if Baudry kills us, I'm on to you.
Oh yeah, let's put that a clause.
All
Also,
right.
you can't tell anybody to kill us.
Xanathar and associates, no killing.
Nobody. No, not associates. You can't command anybody to kill us.
Yes, I agree. I shall not command anyone to kill you. Very good.
All right.
Now sign this contract.
Okay.
He dips his eyeball in ink and just leaves a big stamp there.
I feel like you didn't have to do the first one. You could have just left the eye. There's no other signature like that.
You would be surprised.
Oh, yikes. All right. Yes. How do we get to this location?
Yes. Taika, would you care to introduce yourself?
Well, you just said my name, mate. But Taika,
May I present Taika?
Taika Minky.
Nice
I
to
got
meet
an
you.
airship. I'll take you where you need to go.
An airship.
Yeah.
Yes, a rather
exciting.
spectacular airship, I might add. I'm rather enthused about it.
I'm very excited about that. Does it have a name?
It's called the Flying
It's
Meadow.
Actually, on your
Oh,
sheet there.
that's the nickname I gave it. But the real name is the Windsgeister.
That's the crew of your ship, actually.
I like
Oh,
flying
it's
meadow.
The glass dragon.
The glass dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dang,
Very
you
good.
got there.
It's a beautiful, beautiful name. I'm very.
I'm not good with names. Don't expect me to learn your names, by the way.
Oh, okay. Should we tell you our name just in case, or
Nah.
nah? Okay.
I'll just call you that one, her, and that.
So I'm that one.
Pretty
and he's-
accurate, honestly.
Yes.
And
That
he's
one,
that one.
her, and that.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that one and that could get mixed up easily, but if
No,
you can
I
put
mean, if she
listen to
doesn't
the
say
end.
the one on the end, she's not talking to you.
Her knows.
her does know. Okay, let's boogie.
Yes. Well,
Straight.
with introductions having been met and a completed agreement in hand, it's time for a little background information, shall we?
All right.
And so at this point, a hitherto unseen.
She's hungry. That's okay. It's all right. There you go.
I wish she would tell us why she did this.
Oh, go. Oh, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. All right, none of the mouth noises. I can't do that.
She will drop you.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Stop saying that.
NCR Lieutenant, thanks for subbing up.
Cigar, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know how do I make this go away. Let's make this. Okay, nothing's happening. Great. All right. So a hitherto unseen door in the like a trap door slides open. You see a set of steps that apparently goes down even further, and down below there's a large conference room, right? Big round circular room, big round table, several chairs. There's a folder of information for each of you, kind of sat there. And Xanathar says, Baudry, summon forth the gnome. And Baudry, oh yeah, you got that. And suddenly you see this very small fellow with wild hair, kind of all pulled up, going all different directions. He's wearing a gray robe that's embroidered with little gold stitching, has different runes along the edge of the stitching. It looks very kind of like a heavy and stiff robe. And he comes out and introduces himself. Good evening, everyone. I am Grindelbim Runkelfist. Yes, I am the Wizened Sage of Tungleneck Tower, and I'm here to present all of the known information about the Grey Peak Mountains.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Grindelbim Runkelfist.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. Runkelfist.
Thank you.
I call them rumps.
Rumps?
Rumps.
Well, it's with an N, actually. Is it Runkelfist?
Yeah, I call you rumps.
Well, that's
It's all right. She calls me her.
Oh, well, then I feel very honored. Thank you.
How come you learned
you
his name, sort of?
Sort of.
I know them longer. I don't expect to know you very long.
Oh. All right. Go on.
So, welcome to my presentation today. It's called the Grey Peak Mountains, Science, Sorcery, Study, and the Realm That Defies Them All.
Hold on, let me get my notebook.
By myself, Grindelbrim Rankelfist.
Ooh, power scry.
Yes, and so he points his wand up at the wall, and all this magical writing appears, and he says, the Grey Peak Mountains are located inside, deep within the Sword Coast, on the edge of the Anrock Desert. So to the north, you have the Star Mount, the Unicorn Run, southward, the High Moors, the Marsh of Shalimber, the Grey Cloak Hills, and nestled amidst it all is the Grey Peak Mountains.
This is hard to see. I wish you'd have scribed in color.
No.
It costs extra.
So, yeah, that's why we couldn't afford that. The Grey Peak Mountains, a land shrouded in mystery. Literally, there's a toxic fog which hangs above the mountain range. It is a gray amalgam of various grit, some sort of either divine or eldritch energy that suffocates the area and is largely produced by the numerous geysers and hot springs which dot the mountainous region. They are of indeterminate origin. So, this fog has a number of different effects. It makes the place unseeable and unknowable. The Grey Peak Mountains cannot be scryed with any sort of magical device or spell. Teleportation is negated, no matter how you try to get in. You always get teleported to a different location. And those who visit often return disoriented and confused, so do not wander the mountain at random or spend an undue amount of time there. You might find yourself insane at worst, or dead at worst, and mildly embarrassed at least.
Rumps.
Yes.
What's that big word, that word, scried? What's that mean?
Scryed. So you cannot use any sort of magical vision or distance seeing in order to view what's happening in the area of the Grey Peak Mountains. It is a sort of a dead magic zone, if you want to consider it.
Can't use my magic. Is that what you're saying, mate?
You can't use scrying magic, so other magic, well, we'll get to that in a moment, but most other magic functions in some way, shape, or form.
That's good.
The Crucible of the Gods' Fire. Is it a wellspring of the geysers that dot the area? Is it a font from which the gods themselves sprang? Is it a primordial magic used to reforge life itself? A fountain of eternal life? That question remains on the table. It could be all of the above. That, of
like
course,
a very
is
pointless slide.
your mission to determine exactly what is the Godfire and what is it used for. Yes, all right. The Maw of the Iron Worm is one of the few named and known locations, well, in as much as anything can be known within the Grey Peak Mountains. It is rumored to be a cave of polished metal. It is hidden via a very potent set of illusions which are not normally magical in nature. It contains a door of impregnable obsidian, and it is the lair of a mute guardian, but all stories which describe this guardian described it in a variety of different ways. Some say it is a creature, some say it is a statue, some say it is a humanoid being of some sort. The accounts vary and are completely inconsistent with one another, as is much of the testimony regarding the Grey Peak Mountains. Goats. You'll encounter a number of goats in the Grey Peak Mountains. There's 3 S's. It's very simple. It's a mnemonic device that I use. The goats. They are stupid, surly, and sacred. Do not kill the goats. They are considered holy creatures in the Grey Peak Mountains. You will see them all over the place. Do not disturb them. Yes. All right. Portals and pitfalls. The entire area of the Grey Peak Mountains is dimensionally unstable. Portals randomly appear and disappear. They are often temporary. They pop into existence, lead to one player or another, and then suddenly close. You may find yourself trapped in the astral, the ethereal, or a number of unmapped and hostile pocket dimensions. So one of the things that makes the area so difficult and dangerous to navigate is you may be headed up a mountain trail when you suddenly step into the elemental plane of fire, or something more dire than that. So, God's Fire. Was it in fact the downfall of Netheril? A number of ancient sages claim that Netheril, the ancient kingdom of magic, was snuffed out in a great cataclysm, and subsequently became Anarok, the great desert, which borders the Grey Peak Mountains directly. If we click, 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 click back to our map, you'll see this great area here, which of course extends down here and across quite a bit of here and then turns into ice up here, is the former kingdom of Netheril. It was a once mighty area of powerful magic-using creatures and sorcerers. It no longer exists, of course. So, is the God's Fire responsible? Who knows? You may encounter Netherese persons or magic, long thought dead or lost to time. The curse of the Netherese means that the area is festered with wild magic zones, dead magic zones, and that there are variable effects when spellcasters take a rest. So, back to your point, Taker. When you say, will my spells function? Mostly. Depends upon where you're standing, I suppose. I have not visited the area myself. This is all having combed through the records extensively. This is the information which we have at hand. Monsters of the Mount. A number of strange creatures have been sighted roaming the Grey Peak Mountains. The Invisible Strangler, Grupnak the Neckthroat, and the Yerbrick. So, if you encounter any of these creatures, I suggest you run or do your best to fight. Many a lost shepherd boy has found himself suddenly disemboweled by one of these creatures. Yes? There are a number of points of sheer rumor and speculation regarding the Grey Peak Mountains. It is considered to be a place of flickering time. Young men have been known to climb up into the mountains and to disappear and reappear hundreds of years later. It might be considered the last citadel of the Mage King of Netheril. Unknown. No one has ever entered and subsequently returned in a state that was considered to be of reliable sanity. It might also be the lair of Agalak, the Lich Worm, one of the primordial dragons who has essentially attained immortality through, apparently, the God's Fire or some eldritch and arcane means. It might be the graveyard of the forgotten gods, although which gods those are is obviously forgotten. And finally, it could be considered the birthplace of the doppelganger. It is nearby. The Salimber Marsh is known as one of the first sightings or encounters of a doppelganger in the area. And so, keep in mind, all of these things may or may not have any amount of truth to them. That is merely provided for your background information in the case that it might prove helpful, although it may not, in fact, prove helpful at all. In conclusion, thank you so much for your time. Once again, I am Grindelbim Runkelfist of Tungleneck Tower. Please fill out the survey in front of you if you would be so kind. It does determine whether I live or die at the end of this evening. Thank you.
Grayson fills out the survey.
If you'd like, I am happy to provide any more insight on any of the pieces of information which I shared with you, but other than that, this is the distilled knowledge that we have collected throughout the ages regarding the Grey Peak Mountains. One thing I should make clear is that there is some speculation that there is a deliberate amount of disinformation about the Grey Peak Mountains, which has been entered into the record either by the Lords of Waterdeep themselves or by other forces that have some sort of interest in protecting the true secrets of the Grey Peak Mountains.
Can we go back to the slide with the monsters on it?
Yes, of course.
Tell us what they are?
Yes. There's a number of monsters of the mount which are much rumored. They are the Invisible Strangler, Grupnak the Neckthroat. Horrible.
Sounds like the same thing, but fancier.
Well, it's supposedly it's a giant beast that has a throat for a neck and no head.
Throat for a neck.
Isn't that the same thing? A throat and a neck?
Well, the throat has fangs.
Yeah, that its mouth is in fact the top of its neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Yerbrick is it's a swarm of creatures that makes a peculiar dog howling noise.
Yerbic sounds like the noise a neckthroat would make, actually.
It's possible.
All right, we'll look out for those.
The Invisible Strangler, we're not going to see it, are we? Because it's
I would
invisible.
assume not. No, it is called the Invisible Strangler, of course, because
Look out for that.
no one
Watch
has
your neck throats
actually
on that one.
seen it. But
Well, are there any known weaknesses to any of these creatures, or are we just you're just telling us their names? That doesn't seem helpful.
any known weaknesses to these creatures? Well, I know that the Invisible Strangler apparently is drawn to heat. Something about if you carry a torch, you're more likely to encounter it, or if you light a campfire at night, and this is one of the reasons that people are discouraged from going up into the mountains in the evening, is they invariably light a fire, and the next morning they are found strangled to death near the remains of their campfire. So the Invisible Strangler is apparently attracted to sources of heat itself.
Neckthroat?
Neckthroat, yes, Grupnak the Neckthroat. Supposedly it was driven off by, there was a young maid who found herself lost in the mountains, as very often is the case, and she drove it off through a variety of flowers that she had plucked from the side of the mountain. She threw the leaves and petals in the air at the thing, and it stormed off in a rage, seemingly confused whether that shall work for you, I don't know. And the yearbrick, it is claimed that if you cover your ears so that you can't hear the howls, its attacks are in fact much less effective.
All right. Where should we start our search? Where are we landing?
Well, if I were to make a suggestion, we first of all, you do have the exact copy of the map, but the copy that you provided,
Ooh, thanks, Jimmy.
Davidson, thank you.
1999.
Indicates that this mountain here is the one that is cratered and is the spot, quote, where the gods fell. Mount Sliva Dukralpan, which roughly translated means ringed with corpses.
Oh.
Yes.
Sounds pleasant.
There are local rumors that any bird which flies over the mount is snuffed of life, and therefore a ring of dead bird bones has assembled around the edge of the crater. Now, whether that is a gaseous effect or something more ominous is, of course, unknown. Yes, so where you decide to land, of course, is your choice. I would suggest, since the range here is covered with this horrid gray toxic fog, that you land somewhere here at the base of the mountains and make your way up to the crater here.
All right. That sounds fine to me, I suppose.
Unless, of course, I understand you may have a more accurate copy of the map. If there's something on that map which would indicate otherwise. I'll leave you to your own discretion on that.
Advil, do you want to take a look and compare it with your map?
I don't need to do that here, no.
All right.
Hey, I have a question though. How are we going to get through that toxic smog?
I mean, I do have cube of force. I could put it around us as we're coming down through the fog. He just said it's above the mountains, so as long as we can get through it, all right.
All right.
How many crew on your ship, though?
I got a few strong hands.
Hopefully they can all fit in the cube, right?
Well, we'll just have to
They are
snuggle
strong
up, won't
hands,
we?
although they're not hands as such.
Ah.
They're not actual literal hands.
No, I didn't think they were. All right. Well, it sounds
They
like
don't
a
have
plan.
hands.
No, they got hands, but they're not hands. I just want to clarify.
They're not literal hands.
They're not
is what you're
literal.
saying.
I don't know.
What are they?
They're beings. They're people.
She just didn't want to make us think that they were like.
Why would we think that?
I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know what's happening about this trip. There's monsters with neck throats and invisible things and Grayson's birthplace. Did you hear that one?
Don't worry about it. They're better than hands. All right, let's just say it that way. They're better than hands.
Hey, Tom. My birthplace was Oakhurst, just like you, so...
Real fancy that.
I wasn't born there, so I don't know why you said that. Well, let's see this airship. Let's get boarded and get ready to go. Unless there's something else.
I mean, as promised armor.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be on the airship when we arrive.
Well, he gets his armor now, and I have to wait for my tome. I see it on the shelf over there.
If I pay you all of your requests in advance, what's to keep you from simply absconding with it?
Oh, I don't know. The threat of death and destruction.
Have you seen?
Our agreement was that you would get the tome upon delivery.
Well, why does he get his armor then?
Because that is a trivial matter. I have several sets of plate mail in various conditions awaiting.
What? You're like a hyper-intelligent being. What the hell you need a tome clear thought for? I need help. I didn't go to school. I went to fake school.
I thought you went to real school.
I went to fake school.
All right.
I'm sorry, it is too late to renegotiate the terms. Unless you'd like to renegotiate the entire bargain.
Fuck. Forget it.
What about the spear?
Yes, that will be provided as well.
Thank you.
Right now?
No.
She can't even hold it.
No, she's getting the spear now, right?
She will get a spear now, yes.
Trivial. Yes.
What the fuck?
Well, you want a really powerful magical
It's
item.
not that powerful.
What does
Okay.
it do?
It just makes me slightly smarter.
Oh,
That's it. That's,
define slightly?
yeah, that seems pretty powerful. I just want some pieces of metal to strap to my body.
Well, but Ava's staff is gonna be magical. And this guy wants his dad back.
That's something we were.
That seems like a pretty big deal.
He was essentially blackmailing us.
To be
with that.
fair, I did not have to do anything in order to provide this potion for you other than
Steal it.
steal it and unsteal it.
Another great reason why you should just give me my thing now, because you were a dick about all that other stuff.
Yes, I have a reputation to maintain, don't I?
Maybe I don't want to go find the God's Fire. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to like figure out where it is. I think if my brain worked better, I could probably remember exactly where it was on the map. Can I roll for this?
Are you going to try to roll persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. Roll persuasion.
Okay, I want these. Here's 2.
Just 2?
I've already got a big bonus to persuasion.
Oh, right.
Let's see. Persuasion. Plus 10. I'm gonna get a 1. Fucking watch.
Yeah, but you can re-roll it.
Thanks. 15, 25, 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. He does not have high charisma. Ugly ass motherfucker.
He's not trying to resist you with charisma, right? He's trying to resist you with wisdom.
Well, okay then.
Does he have a plus 12, plus 13 to wisdom?
Unfortunately, I didn't use any bumps. So,
Oh, no.
I will provide you the tome ahead of time, providing I may amend our agreement.
In what way?
That if you do not deliver the God's Fire immediately, and if I have any indication that you have used or tainted or altered it in any way, shape, or form, our agreement shall be null and void, and you and all of your kin shall be held responsible for this treachery.
All right. Well, I think he would have done that anyway. You know, whether he's giving me the tome now or not.
Right.
So
Yeah, that
I'm
makes
interested in that.
sense. Yeah, she's got you there.
Very good. Well then, by all means, please take this magical book, which will make you smarter.
Ugh, I'm not liking this now, the way you
Don't
said
be
it.
pervy about it. Why you gotta make it weird?
Wait, was that pervy? I just
I
thought
don't
that
know. It made me really feel
a
uncomfortable.
little schemy, yeah. Stop humming.
It's up to you whether you choose to read it or not. It will certainly provide insight into the world
Don't be
in a way
don't
you
be
have
weird.
never seen before.
Creep. I already took it.
I want the potion.
Oh,
Baudry, fetch the decanter, will you? Oh, yeah, mate. He goes, brings out this crystal decanter that's brimming with this effervescent, bright yellow, like glowing kind of fluid. Just the whole thing bubbles the whole time. It's got this crystal stopper on the top. There you go.
All right. My friend needs some armor and a spear, and we'll be on our way.
Very Baudry, fetch an armor and a spear. Yes. Tiger, you're taken care of, yes? You're happy with our arrangement? Yes.
I'm always happy with our arrangement, Sam.
Yes.
Always happy.
So do enjoy an easy business transaction.
Bet you do, pervert.
So Baudry comes in with a short spear and a sort of full plate. Kind of just dumps him on the floor unceremoniously.
I'll help you.
It's gonna take a little bit.
It's all right. We got time.
You got clothes on under there?
Yeah, of course.
Good luck, Godspeed. I await news.
All right.
All right. So you go up through various passageways, side doors, etc., and find yourselves on kind of on the edge of Waterdeep Harbor, which is kind of surprising. Like you didn't think that. You thought you were underground, but when you come up, it's like you must have been like underwater wherever you were, right? But you come up on a high tower, and the Glass Dragon, which is Taika's ship, is moored, floating above at the edge of it. It is in fact, it has these huge plates of glass for sails, and the wood is made of some sort of crystallized wood. So it's wood that's been turned like petrified, but it's been turned to like clear crystal, right? Wow. It's not particularly big. It seats, or it has room for, probably 6 to 8 people. It's very, very small, slender, looks fairly quick. But you're the first to tell them, like, it's known for traveling at as stealthy as possible. So it's quick, and it's very difficult to see or detect from the ground. So there's a cargo hold. There's 4 sets of quarters. You have your own room. There's no crew on board the ship when you get there.
Oh.
You don't see anyone. It's just floating there.
Are your hands hiding somewhere?
Oh yeah, my hands.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about them. They'll appear when they're needed.
Oh.
They do
all right.
all their work. You don't worry about them. Just proceed as normal.
Oh, all right. Before we leave, can I take a small side trip? Can I deposit my potion in my dungeon, in my prison place?
It's up to you if that's what you want to do.
I don't want to keep it on me, so I'm just gonna pop open that portal, walk in, leave it on the counter, walk out.
Okay.
Not give it to your dad.
Well, if I give it to him now, I don't want to roleplay all that out right now. It's
Hey, Dad, you're alive. Anyways, this is Waterdeep. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
Stay in our tower. I'm gonna be back. Hopefully not dead.
that all needs to happen at some point, but not now.
All right. Very good.
It's hard to move in this. It's harder than I thought. All this armor.
Maybe you'll get used to it. It'll bend to your will a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a good set of armor. It'll keep you nice and safe.
It looks like it's a size too big, but you could probably fix that, right?
Yeah, eat a cake.
Some padding.
No.
A thicker gambit. Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
Oh, you mean maybe he can shapeshift to a slightly larger human?
It's not. I mean, I don't have that magical capabilities. I'm just a
She
humble
was a
paladin.
joke. She's got that book. It's got some jokes at the start.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. What's the?
It will take 6 days of study to do it.
Well, it says 24 hours
Oh.
total, which
Yeah.
you can do over the course,
the course
of
of
6
6 days, though. I don't think you can. I don't think you can like straight up just read it for 24 hours.
I think that was implied, but it's not going to be capable. I'm not, as my character, I'm not
Okay.
going to be able to do
All right, fair enough. So, by the way, NCR Lieutenant gives their sub reroll to Havana.
Appreciate you.
All right. So you, without any further ado or
Oh, I'm ready.
negotiation, issued the command, and so I don't know if you make a gesture or how you want this to manifest.
I actually step up to the wheel, the big crystal wheel
Yeah.
at the top deck of the ship, and I say, "Oi! All hands on deck! Get to your stations! Quick, swift work!"
And there's kind of this like rush of wind that like comes off like over your shoulders from behind you, and it has a bit of like an odd, like first you hear just kind of like a, and then it begins to build your, and then you hear another like tone like, and as these various voices all join together, you suddenly see the wind begin swirling up, and it turns.
KK slider.
You see these bluish shapes, like these ghostly bluish shapes, begin to materialize, right? And
Those aren't all for you, Eric. I saw you get a big you bite into the tower.
oh boy!
Paper
I'm very
towel and
nervous
all.
about. Put this over here.
And you see these kind of fuzzy spectral sailors begin to like take up, you know, they take up the boom, and they
Are they elementals? Do they look like the air elementals we saw at the?
well they don't look like air elementals, because the air elementals just sort of like appear like a cyclone, you know, they just sort of like look like a miniature tornado or whatever, and these appear to have kind of a humanoid form, but their faces are like misty and indistinct. It's like their features are constantly being blown away by the wind. You're like, there's almost like, you know, you'll see a nose that then dissolves and eyebrows that then dissolve, especially as they like lean down. You'll see the outlines of their features appear, but then anytime that they like aren't actively moving in a particular direction, their features and their form become indistinct and blurry and shift
Somewhat
away.
similar to like an unseen servant, or in a way.
Are they ghosts?
But an unseen servant would only like is really just like generally just sort of like a hand, or even, not even a hand. It just sort of like it's just a force. It doesn't have a lot of manifestation to it, right?
Tell us what they are.
It's unclear. It almost seems like a combination between like an elemental and a ghost, right?
But mechanically, if I were to cast this spell, okay.
Tell me exactly what spell it is, what level you have to be to cast it.
Right. So, and with that, you, before you can take off, though, there's one other command that Teika gives, and there's sort of this radiance that zips down, like this bluish kind of just this faint blue hue that starts at the front of the ship, goes all the way to the end, and the ship and the rest of you become completely invisible. Like you on the ship can see the outlines, you know, almost like
Wonder Woman style.
yeah, like Wonder Woman style. Like you can see the outlines of yourselves, but the whole ship and all of you aboard it just disappear.
Can I see Ava?
Yeah, she's still there.
Okay.
Yeah. And although, high or low?
Oh god, low.
Oh no!
7. So he is in his human form. He does actually appear human, right? So, with that, you take off over the...
What?
Nothing.
Everybody has their own secrets.
Okay.
I appear as the human I am.
With that, you take off over the city of Waterdeep and
Feel
take
like-
to the sky.
In Grayson's head, it's like, carry on my way.
Just thinking about the time I saw actual Kansas play.
I hold Ava off the edge, on the edge of the airship, like her little otter paws are on the railing, and I'm like, hey, look, isn't that cool? Look, and that's the city down there. That's our tower over there. See that? There's look all the ocean. That's gotta be exciting.
She kind of like wriggles a little bit in your hand.
No. Think of all the oysters in there.
Wriggles more.
No. Let's just get her
I
out.
got her.
Okay, I worry
Not gonna let go of her.
she could be
I
slippery.
got strong hands.
Am I near them? Where am I? In relation
Wherever
to
you
them?
want to be.
Makes you
I mean, I
think.
assume you're at the wheel actually,
Yeah,
so
but
you're
are they,
probably.
like, at
She
the-
said she was at the bow. Are you at
okay,
the bow? Are you
So
at the
they're,
bow
like,
at the
I
right
just
in front
said
of-
railings.
Oh, at the
so-
railing?
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're not particularly close to them.
I
You
can't
can
see
see
them?
them.
Okay.
Well, you can see them, or you can see everything on the ship because you're all transparent, right? There's nothing blocking your view. You can definitely see them. They're just not like within 10 feet or 15 feet.
I should
of
have
you.
went to the bathroom
Yeah.
before.
Okay. I'm just standing there like steering the ship, and I'm wondering like how they had that baby. I think that's their baby. Like, how does that happen? Like he looks like that, and she looks like that, and they don't have fur. And then they
How
have
do
that
we even
baby.
do it, honestly? Because he's a good 5 feet taller than me.
Like,
5 feet taller than
Well, 10 feet taller than me.
Tyka knows how that
You're an
happens.
ant.
Tyka knows how that might
Wait,
happen.
are you
She's
a
well-
half elf? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Okay. Yeah.
She's well traveled.
Tyka's lived. Tyka's done some things.
Taking the ship is amazing. This is incredible.
Thanks.
Can Ava steer?
No.
It's okay. Maybe later.
Sorry. I'm still getting used to it. Maybe in a bit. I don't know.
Oh, this is your first time flying the airship?
No, I'm getting used to your what do you call it, river rat baby?
She's an otter pup, and
Otter
she's
pup.
also an avatar of a goddess. She's just in animal form right now.
But can I ask you, if that's your baby together?
It's not our
no,
baby.
no, it's not. It's not. No, it's not our
They-
baby.
Really, you're that
It's not.
adverse to it?
I'm not.
They
That's
have a-
really like a big negative reaction to us having a baby.
They are
I'm
married, but
just-
they don't have a child just yet.
Well, maybe now, never. Now that I know you think it's like the worst idea that's ever happened.
Do you think it's a good time to have a child when we're going on
Okay,
invisible
I'm not saying
airships?
let's
that-
get pregnant right this instant, but you're really having like a big negative reaction to it.
We're in a dangerous part of our lives.
Listen, your lives are never going to be in the right spot for children.
It's never
That's
a
a good
good
point.
time.
Are you asking me to have
that
a
is
child
right.
with your sister?
Listen,
Not
I just want the two of you to be happy.
What? Sister?
I'm not a sister. He just thinks I am.
Adopted sister.
Barely.
It's a
We're
family affair, isn't it?
we're married, but that's not. It's not our child. It's our.
Yeah, you should marry Grayson, and then we'll all be a big happy family.
Oh yeah.
I think I could handle him.
Oh. His name's that though, not him.
That. You're right, I'm slipping up. I'm charmed by him.
Oh.
Oh.
Lots
Every
of
time.
ladies are.
Every woman. I don't know what it is about women.
All right, never mind. Not anymore. You killed it. You killed it, Nat.
Yeah, it's mostly moms. I don't know what it is.
Do you have any kids? Tyka?
I might. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Damn. Wait, hold the fucking phone.
Usually you know when you give birth, but I don't know how elves are.
I've never given birth, but I've raised some people.
Oh, all right.
Taken them under my wing, you might say.
That's nice.
Oh, like mentor.
Yeah, but then I got sick of that. I'm not really the one to make connections, you know? Not
No.
for long, anyway.
We're gonna change all that, best friend, new best friend.
All right. I just,
Totally look constipated to that. All right.
Poop off your brain.
Can I hold Ava?
No, she doesn't like you.
What? You don't know that.
Okay, here, try.
Don't. Ava. Don't.
You just got all fussy about how you don't
You
want
can
a
either
baby.
give me persuasion or animal handling.
You're gonna drop her.
There's 3 bombs. Persuasion or animal handling?
You pick one, whichever one you want.
Animal handling. That is I give you 3 bumps.
Yeah.
So 17?
17. All right. She fusses a little bit, but then you realize that you have like a little bit of sweet beef jerky that you've got in your trail pack or whatever, and you get it out and you start feeding it to her, and she's saying,
She likes it.
How do we know that's not people jerky?
Yeah. What? Why would I have people jerky?
I have 6 strips of people jerky on me.
Well, that's a question for you, not me then.
Well, I wouldn't feed it to Ava.
Do not feed Ava people jerky.
No, I just said I wouldn't feed her people jerky. I'm just saying if I've got 6 strips of people jerky, I don't know what kind of jerky you have
It's
on you.
regular animal jerky.
I don't know that. Also, she's an animal. What if it's otter jerky and you're feeding her? You're making her a cannibal.
I'm not doing.
It's like watching my parents. It's just like watching.
Just give me.
That's why I never had kids.
Yeah.
Come on.
Never. Couldn't handle it.
You gotta hold her. You gotta cradle her. You can't just grip her.
Well, I'm never gonna learn if you don't let me.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
It suits you.
She tries to suck his nipple.
Thank you. No, that's not. Okay, no, don't. That's not. Don't. Just turn your head the other way.
You said she's a goddess, right?
Yes.
Well, you should be.
The avatar.
Oh, the avatar for a
But so,
goddess.
what were you saying?
You should be flattered. She wants your milk.
Oh, a bottle.
You got goddess
You want her
milk.
to keep sucking on it? You gotta hold it up higher.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
See, he wants kids now. You happy?
No, I'll never be happy.
I hear that. I hear that.
Oh, all right. That's enough for now. Grayson, do you want to?
I'm wearing a lot of heavy armor.
It'll be
It'll
cold.
hurt
Yeah.
the baby.
It'll just be cold.
All right.
Could do that for like an hour.
It isn't really
Powder
soft.
baby.
It's a soft bubby. A little soft bubby.
So you expect it'll be probably like, roughly a 5-day journey. On day 3, I don't know if there's anything extraordinary that you're doing, but on day 3, it is an amazing like form of travel, right? For one thing, there's something about the ship with the spirits that she has at her command. You don't have to obey any of the normal winds, right? She just points in a direction and you begin sailing that way. So it's not like sailing a ship where if you were to try to go against the wind, you'd have to tack and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of like, it's a much shorter trip than it otherwise normally would be. Obviously, the fastest way to get there would be some sort of teleportation, but that's not going to work. It's also an amazing way to travel just because the view is incredible, right? I don't think that any of you have experienced anything like this, where just the broad vistas.
I've done drugs.
There is some bad weather on the first day. You have this, you get out of Waterdeep, and as you get inland, you do have to fly through a thunderstorm, which is a rather jarring experience for you. You still have to navigate according to either stars or according to landmarks that you see below. So you have to fly above this thing. You get way up there at the end of the day. And there's lightning and thunder going off all around you, and it's cold and it's wet and it's miserable. But after that, you cross inland, and the whole of the Sword Coast is laid out before you, and you actually, like, for a moment you see where you think Oakhurst is and all that sort of stuff, right? It's delightful and inspiring. On the third day. Around shortly after noon, probably like 2 or 3 o'clock, you see something unusual. There is a chunk of land just sort of floating in midair, and there is a gleaming white castle erected on top of this land. It's got not a moat, but it has a wall around the edge of it, and it has 3 tall towers all connected to some sort of central building and central courtyard. And the thing is massive in size. It's probably 170 feet tall, and the tallest tower, right, which is immense. And it's just floating there. It has little splashes of blue brick, blue stone, and blue tile on the roof of the 3 different towers, and it's just kind of hanging there. Not directly in your path, but it is definitely, within your near vicinity, right?
Oh, that's shiny.
That's beautiful. Are we going there or?
I mean, we can make a stop. We probably need to give the ghosts a rest.
Right. Yes.
Refuel.
Don't need fuel.
Okay.
I have to go to the bathroom. I've been holding it.
Stretch my legs.
There's
There's bathrooms
bathroom on the
downstairs. Did you
ship?
not see the bathrooms downstairs?
just used to get off. I have a shy
it's-
bladder, and I.
You want to see the castle. That's what it is.
We want.
It's a cool looking castle.
Yeah,
I get it.
I do. Can we stop there?
Well, it's not really on our plan. I mean, we could maybe take a rest.
Or what he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Yeah, it's an hour at most.
It's so shiny.
Do you know what it's called? Have you been there before?
I don't know if I've been there before.
Just roll a d20 for me. No, you have not.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know.
Never seen
Wasn't
it. Never
in
been
the
on this route.
PowerPoint.
Wasn't in the PowerPoint from Rumps. So I don't know.
Grayson, you want to see it too, right?
Sure.
Just remember, you're
Oh,
You're on
why
a
do you
mission.
feel sad to me?
You've been very quiet the past couple of days.
You okay, bud? You can hold Ava if you want.
No, it's. I don't know if height is something I enjoy.
Oh.
you're getting airsick.
No,
If we
I
tied a
can't-
rope to him and hung him over the side, he'd get really freaked out for a while, but then he realized there was no danger and he'd overcome his fear.
I'm. It's fine. I just go to.
I've got some rope.
No,
She's got the rope.
I'm able to control it. I just think of my training, and I just
Jump over a cliff.
I just think about just the wonderful training that Master Tommen gave me, and it's just thinking about being pushed off a cliff, and just like the training and all of the wonderful training that has
Training.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that guy was all there that one time I met him, but shut up. I remember him saying that to me too.
He loves to tell people to shut up.
Suddenly, a shadow crosses over your ship. Just
This is not a
huge, just like,
dragon.
and you look up and you see what looks like maybe some sort of giant hawk, but like it has a wingspan of about 25 feet across.
Wow.
Right? Just this enormous thing comes like swirling around. You hear the wind whistling through its feathers, just. And it goes and it lands on one of the 3 towers. It lands on a little platform out there, and you see it kind of like lean its head in, and it looks like maybe it kind of like pecks at the tower, and suddenly then this massive wooden door on the side of the tower opens up, and the thing kind of like waddles its way inside.
Wow. That's
Wow.
incredible.
Think that's the owner there.
You think the hawk owns the place?
Why not?
He had to knock to go in. He's probably not his house.
Oh, that's true. I thought maybe it was like a way of opening it since he doesn't have hands.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh, the sky is a strange place and I love it.
Sound key.
Sky is a beautiful place.
It's
Quite like it
very-
myself.
Just
I should
compliment
imagine
yourself. Yeah.
with the ship like this.
Grayson, you trying to get on my good side again?
No, I'm just being.
Well, he wants to be on everybody's good
You
side all
flirting
the
with
time.
me?
No, I don't
Yes,
think
he
I
is.
was.
I think you were.
Yeah, he was.
I think
I
he'd
think it
rather.
was.
I think he'd rather look in your eyes than to the ground down there. That scares him.
Don't worry, I can take care of you. Make you forget about your air sickness.
Oh. Don't jump, Grayson.
He told me in private he likes your hat.
Oh, you like my hat?
I mean, it's a very fine hat.
Well, thank you.
But then he did this.
Now that sounds like a man in love.
Are Grayson's in love.
I can clarify that he has had sex before, so he's not a completely new project, you know.
I wish you wouldn't tell every woman we've ever met that.
She tells the men
I
too.
arranged it. I'm proud of myself for making it happen. You're welcome.
Sorry, I was thinking about my training again.
Sure, you're training. I guess that's kind of
Wait,
training.
what did Master Tommen train you in?
No, I was.
Involving spoon me.
Master Tommen doesn't like when we talk about the training.
I don't like it either, I don't think. Castle, can we go?
I guess so. I mean, I only have one job to do here. As long as we get that done, I'm fine.
It'd be helpful if Ava could turn into a giant hawk. No, she's sleeping.
Oh.
Do you high five her?
Yeah.
She's sleeping. Don't smack her.
Let's smack her.
All right, so is that the intention then? You're going to approach the castle somehow? How would you like to go about this? What's
I guess we should dock the ship somewhere. Find somewhere to dock it. Do
I
we
mean,
dock it?
the
An
obvious
airship?
the obvious place would be where this giant eagle thing, creature
Mm-hmm.
or giant hawk creature landed, right? That would
Yeah.
that apparently is some sort of entrance. There are 3 other towers to this complex, and it looks like there might be some sort of also a different sort of landing platform on the on the surface of the mount itself, right? So I didn't really bring a lot of.
You didn't create a full tower?
No, I was just gonna do kind
Disappointed.
of like a rough drawing of
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
what it looks like.
I feel like he also rolled to see if we ran into the tower or not.
No, that's not what that was for.
You see a tower. Oh God, I hope they don't go there. What I mentioned a tower.
Good.
You want to put a cool place there? We're going to it, man.
Yeah.
See if this
Cool.
works.
It's very tempting.
All right. So just to give you a rough idea of kind of what it looks like, right? So on this, if we look at a side view.
Is it Taika?
Taika.
How do you say it without an accent?
Taika. Just kidding. Yeah, Taika.
Taika. Okay.
I don't have an accent.
What
What are you
accent?
talking about?
You're the one with the accent.
I thought it was Tiger at first, and I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
My name's Tiger.
Tiger.
This
Actually,
is
I
my
like that.
airship, the Glass Dragon. Wait, no, I lost
Glass
the
Dragon?
I lost Australian almost immediately.
The glass dragon. That was hard for me to say.
Why is that? It's because it makes you go into British.
You know what? I feel like with accents that are like British or Australian, when you hit the A's, that's when it all comes
Yeah,
like
it
you're like, oh
falls
God,
apart.
what do I do with this A?
Alligator.
Glass dragon.
Australian outback. That's cute. I'm gonna get this tattoo. So cute.
Nice. Hawk Island.
Ooh, I hope it's
Welcome to Hawk Island.
The aerial.
That's
Spend
like a
no
delicious
expense.
egg.
The aerial view is pretty cool.
Oh no, it's scary.
Some sort of sky fortress.
I'm just saying, the last time we climbed a weird sky tower, one of us got possessed or used their demon powers to save us from a lizard.
What?
Yeah.
Lizard?
What are you talking about?
When we were at the Ironkeep when we were teenagers.
Oh, right.
Oh, what? Those Amy's powers weren't demon powers.
Oh, you're right, it was vampire powers.
No, she hadn't got her vampire powers yet.
No, she did, because she used the mummer's cart to, like,
I
cause
didn't think that was
li-
always vampire related. I
mean-
thought that was Golthius tree related, and then
Which
later
is-
she made a deal with a vampire.
Well, because the Gothius tree was, the vampire was Gothius. The tree was...
the vampire was that dwarven warrior.
No, but the Gothius was the name of the vampire that we fought
I
later
didn't
on.
realize he was a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was a tree person.
He was a
No.
very powerful vampire that died and became a tree because his blood was so strong. And it's-
Listen, it's not like I played in the game or anything.
I mean, there was another vampire that brought
That's how y'all got
Thon's-
cursed.
Thon's daddy back as a dead man.
I thought Amy made a deal with it too.
Yeah,
What was her deal?
to get her powers back.
No, to get rid of the
Yeah,
voice.
get rid
Oh,
of
you get rid of the voices, and then immediately the next session she got them back.
Where's my voices at?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
I missed them.
Do I hear anything? No, you said not to.
You said
but
no.
Do I?
It's like these sirens offer you your powers back. Secretly, I get
She
them
thought
back.
she was like switching phone companies or
Yeah.
something. Who's calling me now? Nobody.
Describe who it is.
All right. So these kind of roughly match up, right? So there's this
Yeah.
one tall, slender tower. There's a large, short complex. It looks like there's some sort of garden on the roof here. And then there's a medium-sized
I steal
tower
all the
out
cabbages.
front, right? So that's what you see. So in terms of places that you could potentially land, there is this landing platform here. And there is like a gate or portcullis that goes across here. And then there's this landing platform off of this tall, slender tower.
Okay.
Well, you're the captain. It's your ship. I feel like you can choose the best place your ship can dock or land or.
Anchor or what do you do?
Yeah, I
with
don't
an
know how
airship?
this happens. Oh, windows are up
I'm not sure
here.
either. All right. Well,
An overhead?
Yeah.
let's see. Well, if we just come up to the front gate, what's our objective here? Are we trying to sneak in and look around and sniff around, or we want to announce ourselves?
Oh, well, we should announce ourselves. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't. It's a good way of doing it.
Maybe they speak that.
I just made an assumption. Maybe that was wrong.
Well, she doesn't speak it, so she just made a weird mouth noise.
I speak bird as in I can make a bird noise.
It's in her name. Of course, you can speak.
Bird song.
Less of a song though.
Trying different dialects now.
Trying to, you know. I don't know what's happening.
Caw. Let's dock at the dock. I get. All right.
Sure. All right.
Brilliant idea.
All right. Move in for docking.
Okay. And are you going to like essentially decloak, or are you going to stay in your invisible mode?
I think we should stay cloaked,
Okay.
just in case.
And
Then
I'm
the
sorry.
ship should stay cloaked.
Are you landing here, or are you landing up here?
Oh, where did the hawk go?
The hawk
top.
landed up here, but there's more of a kind of like, I guess, you know, if you want to call it an obvious like landing zone
Landing,
here.
yeah. Well, if they're being above
But-
board and they're not trying to sneak in, I guess we could just land on the landing zone.
Okay. All right. You land there. You see. You see in these towers, right? You see some tall, blue-skinned humanoid creatures, but they're fairly they're like ogre, probably ogre-sized. You know, they're like 8-9 feet tall, and they're wearing kind of a strange, very bright, silvery armor. It doesn't look like it's made out of metal, of steel, but it looks like it is made out of some sort of metal, right?
Maybe actual silver?
It actually looks like it might be more valuable than silver. You suspect that it might be, if not pure mithril, some type of mithril armor that they're wearing. And normally, when you've heard about mithril armor, you've heard about mithril chainmail, because that's the way that you can make the most armor with the least amount of mithril. But this looks like mithril breastplates that they're wearing, which is like
Cute.
you'd have to have a lot of mithril in order to make, especially for a 9-foot tall creature, a breastplate that would cover this.
So Taka sees this and gets very excited, her eyes start bugging out a little bit, starts thinking things.
You recognize those creatures?
What? No, I don't recognize them. Just checking out the breastplates.
Your eyes lit up, and I thought maybe.
Yeah.
Just looks like really nice metal right there. Could get a lot of gold for that.
So you you bring the ship in. Now there is some wake from your ship. Your ship does generate some wind and things like that, and there is some noise. You're not necessarily 100% silent, although at the altitude that you normally fly, who cares? You're just another whistle in the wind. Does anybody speak giant?
That's how they say hello.
Okay.
No.
No. All right. Very good. All right. So you hear kind of some these creatures kind of shout a little bit like in your direction, but you're not sure what it says and what they're saying, and they kind of shout at each other a little bit, and then one of them comes down from the tower and begins like. Well, there's two of them come down out of this tower, and one of them kind of begins like walking around the perimeter here, like inspecting, kind of like it can hear something, but it can't really.
Oh yeah, it
like,
can't see
it
us.
seems like it's trying to kind of like figure what's going on, and then so one of them begins to circle around the area of the ship, and then another one just begins walking straight back towards the iron portcullis back here.
Do they have any weapons?
Yeah, they're carrying fairly like big halberds.
Oh.
Right? So they're these big, long, pike-bladed weapons.
Anybody recognize?
And they look fairly nice as well.
They look like they're nice.
I mean, nicely crafted weapons.
Weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric
They're
knows.
smiling.
Eric knows what they are, but Grayson probably has no clue.
And
very proud
as
of you,
this guy
Eric.
walks by, he's trailing. He
got a lot of
has
books.
this bright blue cloak, right? And you can see that there is embroidered on the back of the cloak. You can see that there's this embroidered in silver is the outline of a hawk, and it looks like it has a rider on it who's carrying one of these, like who's armed with a halberd.
Cool.
Right. And it's embroidered around the. There's also trim around the edge of it. It looks like it's stitched in silver as well.
I mean, I don't mean to judge a book by its cover, but evil tends to not wear blue and bright and shine. They like more muted darks and.
They look really ethereal
Yeah.
to me. Maybe they're sky gods.
Maybe. Have you ever seen anything like them up in the sky?
No, never been here, never seen them. I think we should say hi. Let's go say hi.
All right, let's do it.
All right, yeah.
As you're talking like this, like the
Oh, let's mess with them.
and he stops for a minute and he goes, "Who is there?"
Hi. Oh, he can't see us.
It's your
No.
mom!
I'll jump
Hey.
off the ship onto the
Hey,
platform.
over here, can you see us? No, you can't.
I will also jump off.
Once we
broke
jump off,
this.
do we still, we lose her? And,
Yeah, I mean the thing is the ship is fairly tall, right? Like you'd have to jump about 15 feet down.
Oh, jump off, and then I guess I'll start walking towards them.
Right.
So out of the field or whatever is generated.
All right. So yeah, I mean it does extend out probably 10 feet.
Okay.
So you could just decloak the ship and put down a plank if you wanted to, but you guys start bailing out and. Wait!
Hello.
Identify yourself.
Greetings, I'm Grayson Hale, Paladin of Torm.
Ooh, Paladin of Torm. You are?
I am Thorn of the Wood, folk hero of Oakhurst.
I have not heard of this.
It's on
Oakhurst.
It's a
It's-
small village.
What makes you a hero of your folk?
Oh,
He just says that. He's not really.
I did.
You are.
I was behind him.
Oh, look at this little. Is this your slave?
What? No.
Sometimes it feels like it.
What? I would.
Always
Please.
watching your poo-poo undies. Just
No,
kidding.
she is actually my wife and our friend. This is Avril.
Ah, and what sort of hero or god worshipper are you?
Look at this cute baby I have.
Oh! Oh! What is this creature? picture. It is like a little rat. Is it like a rat?
Her name's Ava, and she's a little otter pup.
Oh, from the ocean.
Ocean or river? I can't really tell. But
It is adorable. It is.
Careful.
Ava's like, oh.
She's feisty.
Oh, it
She's
is a
real
little
feisty.
nipper one, huh? Nip, 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 nip.
Nipple?
Nipper. She make a nip. Whip, 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 whip.
I think it's funny that him trying to poke her because I imagine his finger is about the size of her.
That's why I was like, finger him.
Well, and her teeth don't even like go in.
So cute.
Well, what brings you to Castle Comfort?
We were actually passing through and we saw your wondrous castle and we just wanted to stop. We have not experienced anything like this. Honestly, this is our first trip through the skies, and it just seemed so majestic that we needed to stop.
Well, I will inform Master Rothmund about your arrival. I am certain he will want to hear news of what has transpired on the surface world.
Sure, we could trade stories, yes.
Yes, very good.
Do you have any, like, food?
Of course we have food. Do we not have mouths? Do I not have a nose? Do I not breathe the air?
I'm gonna go with yes, you do.
Yes, yes. The world is full of strange things, but food is not among them. It is something we all have in common, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Is my ship okay here? And then I give the command to uncloak it.
Ah, what sort of enchantress are you? Sorcerer, warlock, wizard?
He flirting with me. Everywhere
I'm
I go.
sorry, I am not familiar with all of your surface world idioms. What is flirting?
Oh, I think you're very familiar with it, mate. You're really good at it. No, I'm not a sorceress. I'm a half elf. I'm an airship captain. And maybe later.
Maybe later indeed. Well, I will go inform Master Rothmund. Please make yourself at home in the outer bailey.
Thank you.
And he leads you forward, and he kind of gestures, and the gate doesn't actually go up; it parts. Although it's weird, you're not sure where it retracts to. When I think about it, it probably just goes down, sinks down into the earth, which is a weird thing. But there you go. And so he takes you into this first tower, right? And you see another guy similarly dressed open the door and bring you into this entry hall. And the place is rather spectacularly finished. On the inside, it's all pure, like white marble, like polished to almost a shining sheen. And there are veins of silver that you can tell look like almost like masterwork, like stonework done, where the veins of silver, the marble is sculpted in such a way that you can see clouds like thunderheads and things like that, and the veins of silver come down as lightning strikes out of the clouds, and it forms this like very majestic and impressive kind of vista as you look around the room. There's a huge blazing fire going in the hearth, and before you can even really like take in all of your surroundings, instantly there's three very kind of like cute but blue velvet chairs that are human-sized, kind of brought in, but they're not quite human-sized. They're like kind of like what they think of as human size, which means they're all just a little bit too big, right?
Especially for us.
Yeah. And so those are brought up, and a small little, what they must use as a footstool is brought in and is used as a table. And then there's just one giant like croissant that's thrown in the middle of the thing.
Oh my God.
And this
Yum.
this pad of butter that's about like this just slapped on there. And then
Is the
there's
butter bigger than the croissant?
No. The croissant is if the table is this size, the croissant is like this,
it's
right?
a giant croissant.
It's a giant croissant, and then the pat of butter is maybe like yay big, like that's just laid down for you, and whoever is attending to you is like, I'm very sorry, we're out of jam right now. We have not had a chance to resupply.
It's fair.
The place is, if you haven't already gathered as much, like incredibly extravagant, but all of the dining halls are giant-sized, and not giant-sized for the people that you have seen, the 8 and 9 foot tall people, but it is clearly giant-sized for creatures that are somewhere on the order of 20 to 30 feet tall, right? And eventually the first guy that you encountered comes back and he says, the master would like to have a conference with you if you are refreshed and ready.
Of course.
Oh, and the other thing that they bring is they don't necessarily bring wine, but there is a large tankard of mead that they set on the table, and then they give you this like adorable little ladle that they must have like gotten from someplace, and some very small bowls that you can drink out of because they don't have any cups that are actually your size, right? So that's all laid out before you.
No, you can't have any meat. You'll take like one sip and you'll be fucked up. No.
You can have some of your bottle. You cannot. No, Ava.
I mean, you can get some, like a flask or something for later, like when she's a people again.
When she's a people.
It's not that good of me.
People? I don't know.
All right.
She's a people.
So you come into this large main building in the center here. There's a hallway that goes up the middle, and it looks like it branches off into different areas throughout the castle. But there's a grand staircase in the middle that you go up to the second of what you're guessing is probably 3 or 4 levels in this building. And you enter, it's not quite a throne room. It looks like sort of a reception area, right? So there are probably 3 or 4 of these blue-skinned ogre type of guards there. And then you see kind of sitting at a desk and flipping through this, not flipping through a book, he's actually like reading through a huge scroll, right? Enormous piece of scroll. You see a giant, 25 feet tall, gaunt, blue-skinned, long flowing white hair, kind of bald on top, but long flowing white hair down the back that probably goes down past his waist, right? Wow. But the hair itself is so kind of like light and airy that as he turns his head, it just sort of like swishes around, and it doesn't, like it almost floats a little bit and then takes like moments for it to settle as it drops down. And he's wearing this very ornate and high-collared blue robe with silver stitching around the edge. But as he turns to you, you can tell that he has extremely pink lips. Right? He's blue skinned, but he has these bright, like pink, borderline red lips. And his eyes are a little bit red-rimmed, as if maybe he doesn't get enough sleep. Right? And he has some spectacles that sit low on his nose, and the steward or whoever greeted you kind of like coughs politely, and he looks up from his sheaf and he rolls the scroll back together and he says, "Ah, yes, it's been so long since I have conversed with surface worlders. I am Master Rotmund. This is my domicile. Greetings and welcome. May you enjoy the hospitality that my castle has to offer."
Thank you.
And he snaps his fingers, and again the servants kind of come with. And this time they do bring what appears to be wine, and they pour that out for you. And you notice that seated behind, or on the shelf behind him, are a number of quill feathers, right? Like writing feathers that he must use to write with, right? But the feathers themselves are probably 3 or 4 feet tall, and the quill part of it, not the feather part of it, but not the vein, I guess, or whatever. But it looks like they look like they're made out of like some sort of gold, right? They just shine as if they've either been transformed or enchanted to be turned into gold. And he has a rack of scrolls behind him, and he says, "Tell me what business is afoot down below in the Sword Coast."
We actually just recently stopped. It seemed as though a cult of people who worshipped Asmodeus were trying to transfer the visage of the goddess Soon to him so that he would have her worshippers and then her power and then be able to rise again. But we stopped that cult. And now Asmodeus is back in the Nine Hells for the time being.
Ah, well, it is a very wise and fortunate turn of events that you have foiled this plot. The gods that you surface worlders worship are so easily swayed, and your minds are so easily molded that I am surprised you were able to see through the many masquerades of the Lord of Lies. If this plan had been carried to fruition, I am sure that you would have seen chaos reign among the small folk.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was really a compliment, more like an insult wrapped in a compliment, wrapped in an insult.
Like a
This ship of yours intrigues me. It is not of contemporary design from my knowledge of skycraft. Normally, my guardsmen are able to sense the approach of any invisible creatures, but you somehow approach relatively undetected. How did you come in possession of such a potent transport?
Now you're asking me for some pretty valuable information there.
I think he's hitting on you.
Are you hitting on me?
Oh.
I think he's hitting on me too. That's right. Grayson now knows.
He is 20 feet tall. His dick
Oh, I
would
know.
crush you.
Yes, your halfling friend is correct. The weight of my enormous member would surely smash you into small pulpy bits.
Just stating facts.
Well,
Even if he's a small guy, dead.
Also, I have no interest in sexual congress amongst the small folk.
Okay, we don't have any sexual congress you either.
yeah, we weren't asking, mate. And also, you've been up here. You're like a hermit. You haven't been to the surface in how long?
You look tired. Also,
What is it that you
It's-
do?
hey,
up here?
Not
Yeah, well,
never
you
to
look-
the surface.
It's never a nice
Don't
thing to
forget
say to
I
someone.
know, that's why I
Avril.
used it as an insult.
Oh, okay, then.
I have not been to the surface 327 of your year measurements.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why you got some antiquated viewpoints about our people. You might want to get out
What
a bit more.
is new about your people?
We're now all very smart,
Yeah.
very
Pretty
collected,
smart.
attractive.
You don't strike me so smart.
Okay,
You're
listen, I got this
moderately
book.
attractive.
I'm gonna read it.
It's a very rude thing to say to your guests.
Why does everyone think I'm so
I apologize. I was merely stating facts as I understand them.
Well, sometimes your facts may be wrong. As time has passed, things have changed. 300 years? What are you doing up here?
I conduct research.
What kind of research?
Research.
What can you do so far away from the world?
Into the stars, the movements of the celestial bodies.
Oh, you're an astronomer then?
Of a sort, yes. I study the way the stars align, their movements, and the effects they have as they interact amongst the planes.
What are the stars saying right now?
The stars have begun to take a chaotic path. Their normal, regular movements, as I have tracked them over the past 700 years, have begun to wobble and shift, have begun to take on irregularities for which I have no immediate explanation. Thus, I have brought my castle ever higher, ever closer to the fringes of the world, so that I may observe the stars with more accuracy and clarity.
In all of history, have the stars done something like this before? Is it an indication of something?
The only possible explanation which I have for the erratic movements of these heavenly bodies is that perhaps space itself is being torn or stretched. That is, according to all of the math and learning which I have accumulated, the most likely, although if true, most terrible explanation for what is happening, that the fabric of our world itself is slowly but surely unraveling or being torn asunder.
What could be causing that?
That I do not know. It is only once I have been able to establish the pattern and see perhaps whether there is a nexus, a central focus point, that I might be able to begin to ascribe some sort of cause for this effect. But that will take me another 120 years to calculate.
Quite some time. I might not be alive at the end of that.
You most likely will not be alive. You small
chance.
folk are short-lived.
No.
It is a curse of your size and existence.
Is it a curse, or does it allow us to truly live, to take what little time we have and do the most we can with it, to experience the most of life?
These are wise words, Paladin of Torm. What are you doing to make the most of your life?
I'm helping everyone I can, as long as I can, while the strength in my body still carries me.
Yes, I like him. I like these thoughts. I like his commitment to his existence. Yes, you small folk are filled with passion, which I so rarely get to taste these days.
Oh,
Let us
he's hitting on all of us.
Let us have a feast tonight and celebrate the short life.
All right.
Yes,
One step
please.
at a time, I suppose.
Gronwald, find them quarters and tell the staff, tonight we dine.
Tick is getting the creeps. Can I do an insight check?
Is there
Sure.
a book on the table that says like how to eat humans?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little creeped out.
You can. Well, you called for an insight check, so go ahead and give me an insight check. That would be your wisdom.
Okay.
You're not skilled in that.
Ooh.
Whoa, what is that, a 19?
19,
plus
yeah.
your wisdom is
Holy
0.
moly.
But
It's a 61.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a 61.
in his own way, it seems like
listen to him.
it doesn't seem like it's malicious. It just seems like awkward and stilted. Like maybe something in the either like language or cultural translation didn't quite come across. But the reactions on all of the staff's face, like if he was saying something malignant, right, or kind of like evil, you would probably bust one of the guards giving like the old like yeah, nod and wink.
But instead they were like this.
Yeah, because they don't think eating people is weird or bad.
Instead, they're very excited.
I'm gonna eat that fuzzy baby.
Okay, all right. So they scurry off and make preparations and seem genuinely enthused about like this sudden like. You also get the impression that Master Rotemund is not a very spontaneous person. Like by their reaction, they're kind of like they're genuinely a little bit surprised. Like and so they begin to go off.
I think that's adorable.
Yeah. So unless you have other plans, Grunwald like escorts you. Like follow me.
Is that
please.
all right, Tyke? I know we said an hour, but I mean we can't turn down a feast with giants.
I think we should
Maybe,
leave right
though.
after though. But
We could grab some stuff off the ship that's like people size.
some stuff off the ship.
You know, like cups.
And
plates and-
well, I mean, yeah, that would be great.
Or we could just keep drinking out of bowls, I guess.
No, that's great. And by the way, I have my jacket on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. You know what? I'll go back to the ship and I'll get some stuff for our feast. And you go run off and I'll catch up with you later. I'll bring some cups.
Okay.
From the
sure.
ship.
Sounds good. That's a good idea, Avril. Are you,
Yeah,
What?
that sounds like a great idea.
Uh-huh.
Why your voice is... It's a great idea.
All right.
I'm gonna pretend to go off with them, but then I'm gonna sneakily sneak away and kind of follow her back to the ship. And
Avril, where are you going?
Yeah.
I
don't
snuck away, asshole.
From me?
Yeah, you fucking want to roll against
Let's
me?
do it.
fuckle?
Let's do it.
And can I
How high
roll-
could it be?
Well, she already noticed this.
What'd you say?
I wanted to see if I could convince you all to just go, but it's okay.
That's a 30. Fuck yourself.
Wow.
What's a nat 20? So
Yeah.
But it's a 30. You
So
know what I mean?
you managed to disappear, no problem.
I critically sneak
away
suck
from
my
me.
dick.
Yeah.
Who's left in that? It was like a throne room, right? Or
They were.
Like
It was
council
somewhat
room.
like a throne room, but yeah, like he stays there and
Oh,
kind
he
of
stays
like
there.
yeah. Grunwald wants he instructs Grunwald to take you to a different part of the castle, right? But you know, kind of to your point, the castle itself is richly appointed, right? So it is definitely no big deal for you to see like a beautiful porcelain vase like sitting on a shelf, and you walk by and there's a number of these halberds just sort of like sitting in a stand there. There's a richly brocaded tapestry that is embroidered with the scenes of a hawk and an eagle fighting in midair, you know, that has like gold thread, and the gold threads are, you know, like this wide. It's really bands of gold ribbons of gold that are woven into this thing. And in fact, you see any number of magical accoutrements that you might think of, right? So the whole place is lit by these drift globes that are just floating around through the place. Not exceptionally valuable, but like nice, you know, not just torches laying around. And it looks like every once in a while when you pass a like a little servant station, you'll see a table, and they're not they're not huge, giant-sized tables, but you'll see a little servant station that has a book and a quill and an inkwell, and then it looks like maybe like almost like some sort of like little wand next to the book on a table. Again, it's about 6 feet up, so it's a little taller than you are necessarily, but you can see because the thing is tilted a little bit, like almost like there's a register at various intersections around the place here, right? So you're gonna peel off, and you're gonna peel off. Is that the deal? You're gonna go to back. You're gonna ostensibly go back to the ship. All right. And you guys are gonna go with Grunwald. Is that that the plan?
Avril, look at this. Oh, she's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Grunwald, where did your friend go?
Probably wanted to get something off the ship, I would imagine.
Oh, yes. All right. So then he takes you up, and there's this. They take you to this enormous room, which he's like, we'll have someone come in and divide with a screen of some kind, maybe?
A screen? For?
To make private beds over here. We cannot divide the room, I'm sorry.
That'll be fine, thank you.
And on one side of the room, there's this enormous bed that's, I don't know, probably 12 feet wide and 30 feet long.
I call this one.
But it's also like 10 feet high, right? Or maybe 8 feet high to get up there. And he says, we'll find a ladder or make something, yeah?
Oh, we can make do. We're nimble. We can climb.
All right.
I'm fucking 4 feet tall. Backflips into bed.
Why don't you each just give me a d20 roll?
Can I just use that nat 20 I just rolled?
No.
I got a fan. It's a 21.
All right.
If it was a stealth check?
Nope.
Oh, then it's just an 11, I guess.
So you get a little bit lost in the castle here, and you come down around the bend of a staircase, and the decor takes a little bit of a different turn. It becomes a little more stark, but it still is very beautifully decorated with a lot of marble sculpture and whatnot, columns and little flourishes of sculpture around the edges of the doorframe and things like that. But you come around and you can see that there's a large cage, and in that cage is that huge hawk creature.
Why is he in a cage? He'd let himself in.
Kind of like looks at you, and then it looks back and it starts pecking at something. And as you look down, you can tell it looks like it's pecking at a horse, like the corpse of a horse.
Excuse me.
It's a rough end. Poor horse.
It's giggling. It's just tickling it.
They're best friends.
Oh my god! Unlikely animal friendships.
Horse and giant hawk.
Is there anything past that, or is that the end of the hallway? Or where? Yeah, where?
Yeah, that looks. It looks like there's another hallway at the back of this thing, another staircase that goes up. And you would guess that this must connect to this tower and go up into that tower somehow.
Okay. Well, I'm going back to the ship. I am making my way back there, but I'm a little freaked out by the hawk watching me, so I just go back the opposite way and try to find a way towards the front door while also I take just a small little thing and
There's nothing small here.
small.
It's as big as
true.
my
It's gonna be
body.
like the size of my jacket.
Foot
I, like,
tall
take
goblet, and you're just like,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
Like
you,
an oyster fork.
right.
you mean that trident?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So one thing that you do manage to, like, as you walk past one of these servant stations, is you see one of them that, like, the book is open and it looks like it's just a log of, like, daily chores that have been done for the past whatever X number of. But holding the book open is a large golden like bookmark, like a metal bookmark, right? It's just it is something where you could probably, like, it's velvet. Most of it is a velvet ribbon that's capped with a gold thing at the end, right? So you could probably cut that off and kind of like sneak that into your jacket without it being, really obvious what you've got.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I do. Yeah.
So, are you trying to track her down? Is that the thing?
Or just like sneaky follow her.
Give me a. You can either roll intelligence investigation or perception to try and kind of find her.
Oh, I assumed I peeled off when she did it and I just like kept an eye on her.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you net 20 to your stealth check. So yeah. So you follow her and she kind of goes down and then all of a sudden she turns around and comes back and you like duck back and you see
My feet are peeking out from under a curtain.
and you see her stop at this servant station and like pull this bookmark off the book and then cut the gold end cap off the end of it and then she's just sort of like rolls up the bookmark, which is like this wide, right? It's not that wide. She rolls up the bookmark and kind of throws it behind, again, like behind a curtain or something like that. And she tucks that into her shirt and takes off.
She opens a curtain without looking and throws it, but you're there and you're like,
I catch it.
yeah.
She didn't notice.
And then she wanders back off in the direction of the front door generally.
Okay.
I'll just be like, I appreciate your taste of things to steal. Keep it small, unnoticeable.
I don't know what you're talking about. Huh?
I just watched you.
No idea.
I think it's funny that she's like, I'm not going to learn anyone's names, but she specifically has said my name like 4 times.
Because I like you.
She needs to know your name.
Oh, her! What are you doing here?
Her? I would maybe take a better look around next time before you pilfer something, but I do think you had the right idea. A bookmark. These creatures aren't going to notice that missing, are they? Unless that's their favorite book. I don't know.
Well, how about this? If you don't say anything, I'll cut you in on what I get from this.
No, I'm just genuinely complimenting you.
Really?
Yeah. I
You don't
love
want
stealing
anything?
shit. No, I'll get something if I want something.
Ah.
I admit I was following you. I just, nothing personal, but I mean, you being otherwise employed with Xanathar, I just feel like you going off on your own, I just need to keep an eye on you. But I mean, if you're just trying to, make a little side money, I totally understand that. That's staying alive,
Thanks for understanding.
Yeah.
I'm not really employed with Xanathar, so I don't really answer to anyone, but yeah, I wouldn't want to get on his bad side, so just so you know what the record is. I'm not going to report back to him about you or anything. I don't care. I just want to protect what's mine,
I mean, it hasn't benefited anybody else who's reported back to him. Last guy who did end up in a torture chamber, so.
Oh, that's not a good deal.
Yeah, so, but,
Not so much reported, but was ousted by Dawn.
I'm fudging the truth.
I know.
Interesting.
Damn it. I'm glad you're not around. But yeah, I don't know. I might instead of just discarding the rest of the item on the ground, maybe put it in the waistband so it looks like it got broken. Someone threw it away.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, just cover your tracks,
I want to do an insight check to see if she's trying to trick me.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know. I have charm
Do I
too,
roll
so-
against this?
Oh God.
Well, are you trying to trick her or not?
not.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I wouldn't know.
You
I
rolled a
guess.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not sure. It seems like she's being genuine with you, but then that also makes you question like, what's the play here? Like to your perception, there's always an angle. Everybody's working an angle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
That's how I am.
You're naturally suspicious, and you don't have any reason to think that she is playing a trick on you, but you have no reason to think that she's just genuinely being nice for the sake of being nice. That's not the way things operate in your world.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall we head back to the ship and get those cups?
Yeah, sure. I'll help you. I'll help you carry it back.
All right.
We can stash this,
Yeah.
in the chest, in the downstairs. I don't know what ship's called things.
The
Hole. The
below.
the downstairs.
I call it the downstairs.
The down.
It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so unless something else exciting happens, we'll cut fast forward to a few hours later where there's this grand feast for you all. And yeah, so Master Rookman puts on this relatively like amazing party slash dinner slash, I don't know, bacchanal, right? So he seemed like kind of this very stuck up and patronizing kind of figure, and he still does make several demeaning comments.
But
to-
I've redeemed
to
him.
Raw, right? But you've redeemed him.
In your eyes, I'm pissed.
But you are treated to this fantastic feast, and there's ample liquor and libations that are flowing here, and he actually kind of like seems to like loosen up and let himself go. And they bring in the person who you assume is sort of like the court jester of the place or whatever, who comes in and does a magic show, and he puts on this fantastic series of illusions that tell this story of the cloud giants fighting this war against this clan of blue dragons who have risen up out of the desert and taken to the sky to raid and pillage the cloud giants' strongholds. And the cloud giants managed to soundly defeat them all through the use of a number of different magical artifacts and whatnot. So there's a magic ring that gets used, and there's a spear that kind of flies like lightning, and there's a tome of knowledge which they draw upon to learn some spells which cripple the dragon's ability to fly. Right?
That's cool, isn't it, Ava?
How strong is giant wine?
And kind of the one of the major things is the servants come out and they do try and like serve you out of these enormous bowls, and Master Ropemus is like, this will not do, and he casts some sort of spell and he shrinks all of the stuff down to the appropriate size, right?
Oh, well, we didn't
Why
need to
did
bring
we
our
bring
cups.
these? I'm so glad we walked all the way back to the ship.
Well,
I would
yeah.
take this in.
Well, I also stashed the thing while we went back, so it was useful, I guess, for that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we're like, why did we bring these cups then? But no, thank you. It's very kind of you. I don't mean to bite the hand that feeds me.
And so they have a number of these. It seems like there's these ogre-sized creatures all tend to have some sort of like very beautiful bird as a pet, and they all bring their birds with them to the dinner. So some of them have like
cute.
like an enormous parrot that's like yay tall.
Oh my
and,
God.
You know, there's a guy who has a falcon that's
These are
that's
all
hooded.
predatory birds. Why are they not eating us? We were definitely like snack size. So our baby. Just gonna tuck her over here. Just looks like a rat
Yeah.
to them.
So it is a fabulous feast, but it kind of very quickly gets the better of the giants, right? They're not used to this sort of celebration, and I don't know. Why don't you all roll Constitution saves to see how well you hold your liquor, for that matter?
I think maybe I would intentionally not.
I'm not drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grayson doesn't drink. Mm-hmm. Not.
I think I might intentionally.
Not since that night where we all got magical tattoos and I married you in the name of the goddess Soon.
I think maybe I might intentionally not drink too much just because I'm taking care of Ava. But
All right.
I got an 8.
Okay. Well, Thon goes a little bit overboard and gets kind of sloppy drunk. If you're intentionally holding back, then you're
that is
fine.
a 12 though.
Yeah, that's fine if you're not wildly imbibing. And
I'm drinking.
Yeah, you got a 17. Your
Hold. that out.
You're
Yeah. It's a sailor.
you're one of those
Sailor.
you're one of those quiet drunks where it's just that the eyes just like float just a little bit more than they should, but other than that, no one would ever know. You're just like rock solid.
A high functioning alcoholic.
Yep. And you actually end up getting into not necessarily a drinking game, but you manage to, I don't know if you want to call it sucker, but you lure a bunch of these ogre guard creatures into some games of chance, whether it's cards or dice or whatever your particular specialty is. So why don't you give me an intelligence check, I guess, or a charisma check, either one.
I have some weighted dice too.
Definitely charisma.
Okay.
I didn't even look.
That's an 8 total.
Ew.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they seem to take to it a little bit better than you expected, and they actually start winning against you, and they think this is amazing. The good news is, once they start winning, they keep drinking, right?
Okay.
It gives them a reason. So the side effect of this is they all get pretty like worn out and sloppy and whatnot, right? But they also, as this goes on later into the evening, they all begin speaking giant to each other just because they get bored of trying to work up speaking common. They just find it really difficult to get through. So they're all having these conversations, and eventually, 4 hours into this thing, they almost seem like they're not even aware that you're there. You know, they're drinking, they're like clearly having shop talk from what you can tell about, you know, da da da. And Master Rotmund himself kind of like does actually fall asleep at the head of the table, just kind of like out and drooling a little bit.
Does he have a
right?
bird too?
He does have this giant hawk with silver feathers that's perched on his shoulder, and it's 12 feet tall. You know, which is almost half his height, right? It actually like looks down and kind of over him, and always seems to be scanning the room as to like what's going on.
Is that the one in the cage, or it's a different?
That's a different one. It's smaller. The one in the cage is probably twice that size. That's pretty big. Wow. Yeah, but this one appears to be maybe either one that he specifically bred for its size and appearance, or maybe it's just a young pet or whatever. But yeah. So, given that the giants are kind of distracted and out of it, you have opportunities to do whatever it is you want to do with that opportunity.
I want to try and schmooze Master Rudmont.
Well, he's
Gotta wake
pretty
him
much passed out, right?
Oh, if I could like maybe nudge him awake? Or, nope, I'm tiny.
Can like tickle him.
You
Lift
can
his
try.
eyelids
Can
up.
I
can
tell
try.
if he's got like
Activate
a second?
Cube of Force and jump at him. That's the closest you'll get to nudging him awake.
I mean, that would be fun. I just bounce off and
Yeah.
fly away. I guess I'm just trying to look for somebody who seems like maybe they're in the second command, or they're like some sort of elder, maybe knowledgeable of the area, or.
So the closest you would get would probably be the steward that you've been dealing with, whose name is Grunwald.
Okay.
He's there, and he's. Oh, he's pretty. He's awake, but he's pretty inebriated.
Cool, great.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Grunwald.
Grunwald. Hey, Grunwald!
Little peeps, nip, nip, nip,
Remember what we said about the fingers? They will crush and kill me.
They will crush and kill. No, they would never crush and kill you. Unless, of course, Master Rodman said crush and kill them, which he almost never does. You're nice, good little small folk. I like a good little small folk.
I'm glad to hear that. I am. I was gonna ask you. We're kind of, we're out here.
We are out here in the sky where no one else is, and there's nothing to do, no one to meet. Yes, out in the sky.
And we are looking for the place where the gods fell.
place where the gods fell. The gods came down from the heaven and they struck the earth and they created a great crater in the mountain where there was fire and smoke and it enveloped the entire kingdom of the sorcerer peoples, strangling the life out of them, taking it away until there was nothing left but dusk and a husk. And from that ash the giants did rise, and the dragons did rise, and at first they carved out their own little kingdoms there, down amongst the earth. But jealousy and envy eventually pierced their pure and holy hearts, and brought great war down upon them. And there was forever enmity between the giants and the dragons. Woohoo!
So that's all true. It's not a rumor. It's not a story.
Oh, is it true? That is our creation myth. That is the story of how the giants came to be and the dragons came to be, and why there will never be a true peace between the giant kind and the dragon kinds.
So what's there now? You know, where the gods fell, where the gods' fire is the gods' fire there, or is the dragon's still there? What's left?
I don't know what you small folk believe. Huh? For giant kind, we are the gods, and the dragons are the gods. Do you all worship, I don't, the air something out in this?
Deities, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We worship ourselves. We strive to improve ourselves. We are ordained as the masters of the world. We rule here from on high over the land.
Weird. We haven't gotten any of your commands in the past 700 years.
Well, maybe we are not speaking to you.
Okay, well, it seems hard to boss people around if you're not telling them anything to do.
Beep, 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 beep.
Anyway, the
Yes.
point I was trying to say was, what's there now? You left. You came to the skies. Did the dragons stay where the gods fell? Did they leave? What's there now?
No, there's nothing there where the gods fell. There's only chaos and death. Chaos and death is the anti-god. It is the realm of demons. There are no dragons there. No dragon can survive. There are no giants there. No giant can survive.
What about the fire?
The fire gives life, and it takes life.
But it's there?
It is a force of creation that will ultimately be a force of destruction.
Have you seen it?
No one can see this place. It is shrouded in death, shrouded in a fog of choking soot, draining vapor. All who set foot in the Grey Peaks are lost. It is forsaken and forbidden. And I truly worry about you, that you ask so many questions about a place
Just curiosity.
that is so old and so filled with terror. Marcus, another round for my friends, the small folk who wish to plunge themselves into the heart of death itself.
Right, we don't need to share it. It was a hypothetical.
Hey, you guys want to see my tattoo? I have a tattoo. Hey, she has a tattoo.
What?
She has a tattoo. We share a tattoo.
You?
It's
have a
magic.
tattoo?
Who's got it? You've got it? Show the tattoo.
Wait.
I want to see the tattoo.
So I unbutton my shirt and show that it's a treasure pile, and a scantily clad woman. It's I don't see her.
No, you don't have her.
She doesn't. I don't have her.
You don't have her. Which means I must have her. And I just take off my cloak. Ah, look, back here.
Yeah,
Is she back there?
Nope.
Do I have it? What happened to the tattoo?
Let's all take off our shirts. Grimwald
do you
takes
have
off
one?
his shirt, and you see a giant eagle tattooed across his chest.
Whoa!
Yeah. And it's holding
That's my tattoo.
it's holding a clutch of arrows, and there's like lightning bolts coming out of the arrows, and you can tell that it's screaming, and it has
It's screaming.
and he has. He has clouds across his stomach, so it's clearly like rising up out of the clouds.
tattoo? Who did it? How do I get one of those?
Master Rotmund did it.
What?
Yes, he's a talented scribe.
We all share. We all have a tattoo. There's a magical dragon that lives within the tattoo, but only one. So it's you're never quite sure who has the dragon.
It's a linked magical tattoo.
Yeah.
But when four of us, Ava has it too.
You have a tattoo of what?
What? It's a friendly green dragon. It's just this,
Why would you have
Oh,
a tattoo
jeez.
of a
Yeah.
dragon?
It's a curse that we carry.
It's bad. They don't like it, right?
I
They
don't like it.
It's bad.
curse. We said dragon when we got.
They don't like dragons. Quit talking about
bad.
dragons.
Oh,
Bad dragon.
it.
Like all dragons.
Yeah.
Who wants
It's to remind us of the horror that dragons.
Marcus!
Oh shit. Fuck.
This feast is over. Let's go to bed.
Nice fucking going.
I'm sorry. I drank a little much, and I'm so sorry. Look, I'm
I
sorry.
have the bed to myself tonight. You're
It's
sleeping
time
on the
for
floor.
bed.
Yeah, it's about
Look,
time.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean anything. I just.
You could.
Just give it a
Yeah.
We'll go to bed. Thank you. I love
Thank you
your
for your
tattoo.
hospitality.
Thank you. Well,
Clean it up. Clean it up. So you hear Grunwald like yelling for probably the next 45 minutes before it really kind of trails off. And you go back. I assume you go back to your quarters that have been provided for you.
Yeah.
I make Thon sleep on the rug.
I fall asleep on the rug before even.
Why don't you give me
Stay down.
right here. Okay.
I guess a stealth roll to see how much of the flatware you have absconded with. Well, stealth is plus 11, so that's 24.
Damn.
I got all
Better
the
stealth
silver.
than me? Oh my god. Damn it.
Yeah, so you pocket all kinds of like anything that you can see that's the right size that you can slip into a jacket or whatever. Yeah, gone. All right.
You're walking
You get back to your room. They have
that loud.
they have assembled like there's a pile of blankets that's so high it basically serves as its own bed for several of you. And they've done that in several different places, so they make all of that happen. What would you like to do when you get back to your room?
Well, he passed out.
I'll probably collapse, but I'll try to talk if anybody else is still up.
Give me another Constitution save.
Okay. I feel pretty bad, so I'll
yes,
try
you do.
Nice.
I'll try to stay awake.
Ooh, well, that
a
nat 1
6.
isn't going to count.
No, it's not. I got to reroll. Spend it here. It's a good place to spend it, right? A drunk roll. Oh, great. That's another nat 1. Shouldn't have kept that. What's better? That's 19.
19. All right. So you managed not to just like ingloriously vomit, you know, and you managed to kind of like at least get to bed and sit down and let your head just sort of
Sorry,
spin
I'm
and
so
swim.
sorry. I just wasn't thinking.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry.
You know, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should just leave.
Yeah.
I like
think
that
so.
actually. I feel really bad about it.
Yeah.
You know, we could just tell them we're on a time crunch. We need
I
to
don't
get
think
to
we
our...
should say anything.
Yeah.
They're all drunk. They're all doing their own thing.
Lip out.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've passed out, and we should just maybe leave.
Yeah,
not
I
a
We
really,
put a
terrible
bad
idea.
taste in their mouth with the whole dragon thing.
yeah, I'm sorry.
And when I say we, I mean you.
I know. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's leave, please.
Right, let's go.
Okay, you pack together what few belongings you have in the room, and hustle on out to the front. There are 2 guards out front as you begin approaching the ship. You can tell that there's 2 people up in the tower who were stuck on guard duty or whatever. And they kind of like raise a curious eye.
Good evening.
All right.
It's late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, early to bed, early to rise, you know.
Yeah.
We want to get a start on this journey.
Have you even been to bed?
Oh, we got some rest.
We
yeah.
went 2 out of beds, and now we're here.
Yeah, we didn't want to overstay our welcome, and we have a long trip.
So everybody give me a bluff check. You're looking for at least 2 results above a 15.
Wait, do
I've
we-
got a
Oh, yeah, yeah,
17.
yeah. All this.
Ooh, yeah, have some
17,
bumps, because
18,
my
19,
deception is
20.
garbaggio.
What do we do in
Yeah,
deception?
Bluff or deception.
23.
Wait, what do I do?
You just roll charisma plus 3. So plus 3.
Well, me
so
and
you're plus
Grayson
6 on this.
passed.
Uh-huh. Go ahead and roll.
I'm pretty charismatic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious where everybody ends up. So,
Me
plus
too,
3, you
motherfucker.
said?
and another plus 3 from the bump, so you're on 17.
Oh, I gave you 4.
It's a family thing.
Oh, you can only do 3.
Oh, thank you.
It's not. We're not related. We're super
What did
not
you
related.
get?
A 6.
A 6. Okay.
You said 2 would make it, right?
Yeah, so
okay.
you got a what?
I got a 17.
Yeah.
23.
You got a 17 and you got a 23.
still
So,
drunk.
so he's kind of like, yeah, oh yeah,
They
yeah.
got mad about the whole.
I just punch him in the head.
And,
Oh my god, my hand slipped. Oh, whoops.
and they're kind of, they kind of like look at the 2 of you, kind of like, I don't understand what's going on.
I appreciate your hospitality. It's been, you've shown us such wonders like we've never known before, and we will spend the rest of our lives just in awe of what you have accomplished in this place.
But we got shit to do.
So Grayson manages to like key right in on their like fatal flaw, which is flattery, right? So he
Think they're fucking gods.
Yeah. So he
Gotcha.
caters to their shitty egos, and they're like, oh yes, of course, by all means, good luck upon your journey.
And may you continue to smile upon us, small folk, from on high.
We give you our earnest and heartfelt
We're
blessing.
doing it.
All right, and with
Dragons
that,
love that
you
shit.
pile into the glass dragon, and
Glass dragon.
yeah,
Glass dragon. No.
and invoke your spectral crew and hustle away.
Get out of here.
As quickly
real fast.
I
as
forgot
possible.
to mention I stole the Mile High Hawk.
All right, and you point the bow in the
Right
direction.
beside the ship. I'm making the cawing noises.
You point the bow in the direction of the Gray Peak Mountains and head off to the crater where the gods fell.
To die.
Hey everyone, this has been the Ironkeep Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining us. There was a slight side trick there that was invoked by chat, which was fine. I thought it was interesting and a fun little side trick. I'm sure BSB Care, who is watching this at some point, is just laughing his ass off about how, once again, we have not managed to get to the actual barrier peaks.
So funny.
Yeah, I deserve it. That's fine. Hey,
The barrier peaks were inside us all along.
I don't want to peek inside you, all right?
Let's hear it for his dragon drunkenness himself, Grab Galati, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Next thing I'm on is Wildcards, which starts on Friday at 8 p.m. Be there. Season 3. Dom's going to be there. Megan's going to be there. Jordan's going to be there. Jordan's going to be there. I didn't say that twice. There's 2 Jordans on that show. It's going to be great. It's impossible. Also, if you like RPGs and want some advice about them, me, Jordan, and Megan also do a podcast called Experience Pointers. Look it up on iTunes and take a listen. We just came out with our 11th episode this past week for Patreon, for our Saving Throw Patreon. So if you're $10 and up backing us on Patreon, you get an episode early. It'll come out next week for everybody else.
Ta-da. Yeah, I've been listening in. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Vanna Mahoney.
Still hold that baby. This is her life now.
My sweet baby. My name is Havana Mahoney, and you can find me on Twitter at Havanarama, Havanarama, or you can find me on Twitch at Vanna_Rama, VANA_RAMA. And on there I do full-time variety streaming, but I've been doing a lot of GTA RP recently. So if you like the role-playing like we were doing today, you might enjoy that. So go give me a follow over there. And yeah, I stream 5 days a week, and I'll probably be doing 12-hour stream next Saturday. So.
Ooh, cool.
Very good. Mr. Eric Reichert.
Hi. Once again, you can always follow me on the social media at Mostly Shit, on Instagram and the Twitters. And you can also follow me on Twitch at Mostly Eric, where if you watch Vanna's stream and you're like, I like this GTA RP, but what if it was slightly less entertaining? Then you come onto my channel. You can watch me do it too.
Just kidding. I love it.
Hey, let's have a big round of applause for our special guest, Eliza Pearl.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The good news is we didn't kill your character off. There's an opportunity for her to come back.
And she got a lot of gold.
Oh, yeah.
Is she a rogue?
What's that?
Is she a rogue?
No, I don't know. No.
Oh, okay. I just want them to be best friends.
Special class.
Rogue besties.
She's very gold driven, right? She's very, very much. That was honestly like that whole part of the chat donation was built in there to see what your character would do and what everybody else would do too, for that matter. It's funny to me because the castle showed up and you were the one who was like, let's go to the castle. And I was expecting her to have to kind of push the rest of you.
I'm a rogue, okay? I like shiny things.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It wasn't necessarily a temptation just for one person. So, so thank you so much for joining us. Where will you be appearing next?
Well, I'm at Lisa Pearl on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm on Shield of Tomorrow every week, Fridays at 4 p.m. On Twitch, Geek and Sundry, and that's super fun Star Trek stuff. I play a Vulcan science officer, so like the opposite of this character. Very logic-driven, very grounded, and not impulsive. And then I'm actually going to be on Experience Points, the web series, season 2. We're going to be shooting that soon.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing more D&D, but as an actor, playing, like doing D&D.
right.
There's really different levels.
Yeah, it's like levels, like levels, man.
Very good.
But yeah.
Awesome. Hey, let's have another round of applause for Mr. Dom Zook, the man behind the cameras and the keyboards, our illustrious leader and producer. Thank you so much to everyone who donated tonight. We really had some great tips in the tip jar, and you unlocked this full deck of our Eldritch Point presentation, including all of the weird rumors and extra bonus content, because really, we were supposed to end at goats, and we kept on going.
Nice.
So I'm going to.
So excited for the goats. I cannot wait to kill one. I cannot wait to obliterate a goat.
So I will be putting. I don't think I can put the map because the map is copyright material, but I'll maybe make a new version of the map that can be included in the deck, and I'll be posting this in the Patreon folder for Saving Throw as well. So if you're a Patreon backer, you will be getting this campaign info available to you. Yeah, once again, thanks to everyone who donated or otherwise shared the love or hosted. Thanks, Tippy, for the host. And everyone who puts their time, treasure, and talent into backing the channel. We really appreciate you spreading the word and or giving us a little cash to keep the lights on and the doors open here. It is literally through force of will and your donations that we make this whole crazy thing work. So we really appreciate your support and spreading the word. Keep doing that and keep giving us subs and or comments on the YouTube videos and whatnot, although the way YouTube is going, it's like the best thing you can do is sub up on Twitch. So we really, or donate to us directly. So we appreciate everyone who does that. Thanks, of course, to our mods who help keep the channel safe, friendly, clean, and accessible. Yay. And until next time, let's dungeon!